mofo down around this time. Sure enough. But who am I? Sure enough. Who am I? Sure enough. I can't hear you. Sure enough. Can you dig it, nigga? Sucker.
Oh yeah. EJ Boxing Live, eh? Another hangout. Can you dig it, sucker? Whoa! The world of boxing's been shook up, man. Shook up. Anthony Joshua will be fighting Prince Charles Martin April the 8th in the O2 Arena. Boy, we're going to talk about, we've got the very best channels here on YouTube. Boy, we're going to get into it, man. Oh, thanks for coming over, fight fans. Boy, so I'm here with Anthony Carney, and boy, we're going to chop it up, man. Hey, how you doing, Anthony? How you doing, Mr. Carney?
What's the word, family? What's the word?
Oh, man, Anthony Joshua will be fighting Prince Charles Martin on April the 9th. What's your take? What's your first take on that?
Ooh, I mean, this is a big fight. And I kind of figured that it was going to happen sooner or later, because, you know, like I said, Anthony Joshua, #1, he's the rising star in the heavyweight division. Again, like I told you earlier, I thought the next logical fight for him would have been Joseph Parker, but you know, it is what it is. If Charles Martin, the IBF championship strap, he putting it up against Anthony Joshua. Hey, all I got to say is this: if Anthony Joshua wins this championship, all hell finna break loose in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I was talking to I got inside information, and basically they were pondering this last week. So when people were talking about it last week, they were actually pondering this. I don't think it's a good move. I've been out publicly saying I think it's too fast. I think it's way too fast. He does had a big fight with Dillian Whyte, and to put him in there, but they think Prince Charles Martin is a novice. Now, guaranteed, everyone knew that Prince Charles Martin, no one actually thought that he would beat Glazkov. Now, everyone was picking Glazkov, but I didn't. I actually thought that Glazkov will give him trouble. But in a couple of minutes, we're gonna have Anthony Joshua live here on Sky Sports. So me and Anthony Carney gonna get exclusive to hear what they're saying. And here we go. They're talking about it now, Carney. So
all right,
we're coming to set.
2012 Olympics, Joshua has fought 15 times. He's won them all by knockout. Only his latest victory against Dillian Whyte went past 4 rounds. He is really, really hot stuff at the moment, Anthony Joshua. Well, Eddie Hearn is the man who made the deal for Joshua, and I'm delighted to say Eddie joins us on the line now. Eddie, firstly, congratulations on getting this deal done, and just how excited is Anthony about getting this title shot?
I'm excited, right? You know, it's a couple people, well, not Anthony, because he's the one who's already back to, as I mentioned to him, but the team, you know, that's what his commodities already in world boxing. We know it's early. Heavyweight championships don't present themselves any of that, you know, in any lifetimes, and people saying, oh, this is early, right? You know,
it's not too clear.
No way.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
I was about a week ago, and you know, I've been team the advisors, and you know, over the weekend yesterday, which completely did on Anthony Joshua. I forgot heavyweight. I've got April 9th for the
Eddie, what we're going to do is, it's quite a bad line at the moment,
yeah, it's
I'm
a bad
afraid to
line.
say. So what we'll try and do is get you a little later on a landline if we may, and or maybe when you're in
it's a bad line.
area.
Yeah, that's
we appreciate you joining us on the line, and hopefully we'll get hold of you a little bit later. But great news about Anthony Joshua, and we look forward to that fight in April. Well, staying with Joshua, and as he has done most of his career, he stepped with an opponent with more professional experience than himself. Martin has had 24 fights. While he's undefeated, he has drawn one of those bouts. Joshua has a 100% knockout record, but 21 of Martin's 23 victories have come inside the distance. Joshua will challenge Martin for the IBF title. Tyson Fury was the previous champion before the organisation stripped him of that belt for not fighting the mandatory challenger. And Martin beat Vyacheslav Glazkov for the vacant belt last month. Martin handed the win by technical knockout after Glazkov injured his knee and couldn't continue. or should Joshua go on to win the title, only 2 boxers would have become heavyweight champion in fewer fights. They would be Michael Benn and Leon Spinks. Joshua could become a champion having had fewer fights than Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and Lennox Lewis. Joshua became a huge name in British boxing before he was even a professional. He won gold in the London Olympics in the super heavyweight division.
I think they're just basically talking about Joshua's accomplishments now, and they're gonna get back on the phone. So we're gonna talk with Carney. So Carney, man, so what you were saying, like, you think it's a great fight? You actually believe in Joshua? You actually believe that Joshua can do something, right?
Yeah, I believe Joshua. I believe Anthony Joshua can get it done. I believe Joshua can get it done against Charles. You see, Charles Martin. Let's just be honest. Charles Martin is the weakest of all the heavyweight champions. So
why'd you say that though? Because in the day he hasn't been proved. I mean, the guy he went in with, he flattened. He more or less messed up the dude's leg. Why would you say that? You know, you sure? Are you sure? Like, I don't know about that, man. You real? I mean, everyone thinks he's the weakest, but have we seen him against stellar competition to say he's the weakest? Funny? I guess he's got technical problems there. We're gonna continue because, yeah, go on, Connie.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know, but if you was on Anthony Joshua's team, and you had to choose between Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Charles Martin, who would you pick? Who was the logical choice to go for?
What do you mean? Who would I pick?
If you was advising Anthony Joshua, right?
Yeah.
On which champion do you really want to fight, or which champion do you feel like you have the best opportunity to beat?
Okay, I'll put you. Yeah.
Who would you pick? Would it be Wilder? Would it be Martin? Or would it be Fury?
I'll go against Fury. He's the very best. Like, Fury still needs to test himself. I mean, who's saying Fury's the best? I know Fury beat Klitschko, but who's saying that if he went in there, Styles make fights, that he wouldn't give Fury a good fight?
True, I believe Anthony Joshua will give all 3 of them a good fight, but at the same time, you have to understand, like, okay, Dillian Whyte is probably his best. Like I said, I would have preferred for later on in the year for Anthony Joshua to get a shot at the title after he would have beat somebody like Joseph Parker or somebody like that. I think something like that would have made everybody know, okay, Joshua's that next guy. He's that next dude. You know what I mean? But but hey, his promoters think he ready. Everybody knows that he's a up and coming fighter. It's time to put his feet to the fire. One loss this early in his career is not going to stifle him.
But this is the thing, yeah. I just got inside information as well, that basically the reason why they're having this fight is because they want their money. Joker Boxers in the comments says risky fight, gents, will be a good one. Yeah, I agree, Joker. But listen to this, yeah, like, they want their money. They've invested a lot of money in Joshua. They want to get it back. But that's what the reports are saying. So it's a money thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's because the boxing's, you remember, the learning curves and stepping stones, right? And going against a Prince Charles Martin, does a Dillian Whyte get you ready for Martin? It's my point. I guess he must be having technical problems over there. Carney.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Does a Dillian Whyte get you ready for Martin?
I actually think it does. I think a Dillian Whyte will get him ready. Like I said, the more experience, he's the least experienced champion. You see what I'm saying? He's the least experienced champion. And Charles Martin, as of right now, would be right for the picking. And we get to see exactly what Charles Martin is. To me, Anthony Joshua is in a no-lose situation. To me. Because like I said before, one loss is not going to deter him from becoming a future champion. But if he can snag the IBF strap now, the sky's the limit for this kid. So why not test him early?
Yeah, but if he doesn't, then where is he going from now, man? All the critics and detractors, his chin, and they, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot to overcome.
It's
You don't
it's a lot to overcome, but he's just gonna have to work his way back up. He's gonna have to work his way back up. He's just gonna have to go back down back down the steps and work his way right back up. He can do it, man. He can do it. Is it? I believe in these young boys, the Anthony Joshua's, the Joseph Parkers. I believe in these guys, man. I think these is the next guys, man.
Yeah, I believe they are, but I just feel like with Joseph Parker and the rest of the dudes coming up, like if they offer Joseph Parker the same fight, I reckon his team would probably turn that down. They'd probably say you're not ready for that. It's stepping stones, man.
True. See, but it goes back to what I was saying. I would have thought that Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua would have been a perfect fight for later on this year to see who would vie for a heavyweight title fight. It was the perfect fight to be made. But it's obvious that Joshua's people see something in him that makes them believe that he's ready for this type of fight. So let's go. I mean, hey, they said the same thing about Floyd when he fought Janelle Hernandez at fight 17.
Yeah, but you got a good point. But Janelle Hernandez was at the tail end of his career. So the thing about timings, everything. This is my point, right? Anthony Joshua fighting Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte was coming off a layoff because of the drugs. Also, he had a couple of injuries because the Joshua fight was postponed a bit. It was coming off injury. These are the facts, right?
Right.
And his desire, his level of opponent wasn't as good as Joshua's level of opponent. So my thing is like, you're not fighting the same level of opponents coming up. And even though you're hungry, really, how much ability did he really have to fight him? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going against a guy who's on the rise like you are, right? Something's got to give anyway. Something's got to give. A guy on the rise and wants it as badly, and he's the champion. He ain't gonna want. And the thing is, he's coming. I think he's coming over to our house as well. He's coming over to the UK. How badly does he want it? This is going to prove a lot. It's going to prove to Joshua. If Joshua gets knocked out, all the detractors it was a hype machine. It can be pretty bad. It could be pretty good either. Even if he wins the title, it's still, for me, it's like, oh man, you got to fight. You can't, because you're the champion now. There's no excuses now. They know it's going to be easy on you. They're not going to say, oh, he's the champ. He can't avoid all the big fights now. You're going to have to fight.
Exactly. Hey, but that is squarely on the shoulders of Joshua's handlers and his people and what they think that he's ready for. We may not believe he's ready, because like I said, I think he needed a couple more fights.
Yeah,
that's just me, But it's something going on in that camp that's making them believe that they're ready for this type of scrap.
Yeah, but man, that's what I said. It's the money. They're going in for the money. They want their money back of the money invested. That's the reason.
But here's the thing.
To put him in there, to put his foot underneath the fire, is it?
But here's the thing. When we discuss business, okay, wouldn't if they didn't think that Joshua was ready, right? Wouldn't it be a better long-term business decision to keep him out of the title picture for right now and develop him more as a fighter?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, the way he's knocking out dudes is spectacular. But this is nothing as well. Yeah, the Hearns and stuff. They've never had a heavyweight before. They don't know. They don't know what to do. I think they're just throwing him in there and let's hope he gets it done, rather than build him up where 100% going into this fight. I'm looking at this fight as a 50-50 fight, and this is the thing. Everyone's like looking at this Charles Martin. He's the weaker champion, and I'm telling you, man, these are when people get their ass beat up on, man. See,
but here's the thing now. Now let's look on the other side of that coin. It's a huge risk, huge reward. Now check this out. If Charles Martin wins that championship, if he beats Anthony Joshua, and that name is on his resume, the sky's the limit for Charles Martin also.
Yeah. Well, look, bro, I can see that, man. I can see it happening, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's Charles Martin. They're probably gonna put Charles Martin as the underdog, but not much. But I think, look, they had him undergone against Glazkov as well. Look what happened, innit? Hey, no one was talking about Prince Charles Martin beating Glazkov, man. I was like, man, you look, man, he gonna do him. And look, yeah, I guess so. It's gonna make or break. It's gonna make or break, you know.
And the thing, but like I said, with Charles Martin, he went. See, this is a true 3. I mean, it's a true 50-50 fight. It's definitely a true 50-50 fight. If Charles Martin, if either person wins, this, I mean, it's gonna prepare their career. It really is. I don't see, as far as Charles Martin, I don't see this being a deterrent because the heavyweight division is so different from everyone else. A loss doesn't hold you back in the heavyweight division like it does in the lower weights.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Joker Boxing, check your Facebook. Yeah, I sent the link, so you're good. Yeah, we got loads of people in the chat, man. The chat's popping off, man. Like, boy, like I thought it would, man. Loads of people in there.
Yeah, it's huge news, brother.
Oh, Joker Boxing, how you doing? Anthony Carney, that's Joker Boxing.
What's going on, Joker?
Hey, what's up, my man? How you doing, brother?
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joker Boxing. Give your take, bro.
Man, well, you know, I think it's interesting. You know, EJ, me and you talked about this fight potentially happening, and Eddie Hearn is really jumping out there and taking the risk, man. You know, personally, I kind of got to agree with EJ on this. I feel like, you know, if you're going to take a big risk, you know, I understand there's reward with getting the IBF championship, but at the same time, you know, if you fight a guy like a David Haye or a Tyson Fury, you know, it's a bigger fight. And you stand to gain more credibility by winning those fights and a bigger payday. So I don't know, it's kind of risky.
To me, it's not risky at all because, like I said, if you're fighting Charles Martin and you winning, then the money is gonna come. To me, the sound business decision is to keep him out of the title picture for right now and let him develop himself against the other contenders so he can break away from the pack. That would be the logical business decision, but it's just like I keep saying, something is up within that Joshua camp that they think that Joshua can beat Martin, and Martin is coming to the UK also. Yeah. Something is going on within that camp.
That's what I'm saying to you, Dave. The thing is this, like, let me tell you, right? So I'm over here, and I can give you a good account of what's going on. Now, this is to do with money, and then the fight game is all about money. So he sold out the O2 in 6 hours. With Dillian Whyte, so if they can pack out the O2 or wherever it is, they can pack it out. No doubt, it's going to be the O2 arena. It's going to be a sellout. It'll be a sellout. The tickets will be on. It's a world title. Think about it, the last fight was for the British and Commonwealth. This one's for the world title. So how much more people are going to be in this? I'm going to be there, by the way. EJ Boxing Live will cover it from every single press conference. Just letting you know that, right? So. Right. He's making that mad money. So Martin's looking at the money thinking, whoa, bro, that's all money? I'm jumping on the plane coming over. But with Joshua, we're talking of me and Joker. I think me and Joker come on a development stance. It's a development thing. You know, you can't come off of just beating a Dillian Whyte and then go straight in against someone of Martin, who everyone keeps saying he's the weakest champion. But the thing is, yeah, he damn near broke the man's leg. That guy had to be carried out the ring. And it's like, how weak is he? I mean, Fury saying if Fury's such a powerful champion, is the other, what's his name again? Povetkin and them guys there. If I put Martin against them dudes, and he'll probably do the same damage. And everyone will be like, you're crazy. Well, we don't know until he gets in there. Now, if they're underestimating him, they gambled wrong. And he's a southpaw. And another thing as well, how many southpaws has Joshua faced in the pros? I'm not too sure how many he's faced in the amateurs. I'm the same. The amateurs done pretty well against the Cubans, so you guys chopped that out.
It's risky business, man. And another thing, too, is, again, what do you think is the more forgivable loss? Because, remember, if he fought Tyson Fury, there would be belts on the line as well. So let's imagine if he stepped up and fought Tyson Fury. It's a mega fight. And then if you lose to Tyson Fury, do you really think anyone's going to bash you? Because, I mean, this is the guy who just beat Vladimir Klitschko. So there's a lot less criticism that's coming with that loss than there would be if you lose this fight. You know, it could stop your momentum.
Yeah, I understand that. But let's look at the other side of the picture, though. Let's look at the other side of the picture. What kind of possibility was there of an Anthony Joshua getting a shot at Fury, or even Wilder for that matter? It wasn't a shot at that because Wilder's tied up with Povetkin being a mandatory, and Vladimir Klitschko and Fury, they still got to iron out what they have to iron out. So it was an impossibility that he could get a shot at any one of those two champions. So Charles Martin was the perfect guy to gun for. Scared money don't make money.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, he's got. I think they know that they have to take a risk, but what we're saying is there were other risks that were more forgivable if you lose. That's the point.
Right.
The question is, if you lose this fight, where do you go? Because you're losing to a guy who, like you say, most people are very much underrating him. Even you're underrating him. So the thing is that if you lose this fight, the majority of the public is going to say, man, this guy, he wasn't the real deal. And you know, it's going to be a lot of backlash. So it's pressure that he has to win this fight now. This is it.
He has. If you do, and the thing is, you know the fight's going to be a knockout because someone's going to get knocked down. It ain't going to be you. Ain't going to be Joker and Anthony Carney. We ain't going to get knocked out. You know, that fight ain't going the distance, bro. Someone's going to get knocked out. I listen, bro. And the thing is, every man that he's gone in there with, I think bar one draw, this man is there. He's an Al Heyman fighter. Is Prince Charles Martin. He's an Al Heyman fighter, and he hasn't. I don't think he, even though he's a champion, I don't think like Joker. I don't think there's no pressure on his back.
None. None. No pressure.
Yeah, he's expected to lose anyway. They like, you know, that in itself is freaking dangerous, isn't it?
That's why this is probably the best 50-50 heavyweight fight we've seen in a while because of the simple fact that we know what a win would do for either one of their careers. There's nowhere to go but up from this fight. The winner is the man. You know what I mean? For real. He's going to be the talk of the town.
Well, I'll give you that, but let me paint you another scenario, right? Let's say Joshua wins this fight. Let's say he wins, he gets the IBF title. The next problem is going to be at that point, people are going to be a lot more critical of who he fights at that point. They're going to want to see him fight that next level of opposition. So it's going to be one of those ready or not, here I come situations where he's going to have to step up and fight elite competition, or he's going to take a lot of criticism, unfortunately.
Well, that's his cross. You know what I'm saying? That's the cross that he got to bear. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because once you win a title in the heavyweight division, you ain't doing nothing but fighting mandatories for the most part. So he got to. So I mean, like I said, if his team thinks that he can beat Martin, then let it come. Then let it come. But they know what's coming. If should Joshua win,
right?
They know it. So
yeah, they're showing some big confidence, man. That Eddie Hearn's really sticking his chest out by making this fight because it's a risky one. So
talking about Eddie Hearn, he's gonna be coming on in a couple of minutes. So we guys keep chopping it up. He'll be coming on Sky Sports. He had some bad connection problems talking, so I think they're gonna get him back on again. So I'm gonna keep my eye open for that. But listen, I think to be honest with you, this is a huge card. If they done well on Joshua, how big is this one? I think the boxing, especially at this point as well, where there's nothing on the landscape in terms of no big fights until the 27th. Yeah, this is huge news. This is huge news. This is boxing.
I predict at least like 600,000 pay-per-view buys in that.
I was saying to Joker that the heavyweight boxing is back, and I tell you what, with this fight happening on the horizon, I'm telling you, man, this will captivate. You know, obviously the UK audience. This is gonna be huge. If Joshua was ever to win this fight, oh man. It's another thing as well. They'll be toasting as well to bring on British soil, to win the heavyweight championship on British soil against someone like Charles Martin, who's undefeated, by the way. Credible, you know. This is huge, man. This will be big. Even though I think this is
then you'd be looking at two British heavyweight champions at the same time. We're talking about massive unifications. I mean, there'd be some huge fights.
Yeah, the implications is too big to ignore. So I see why Eddie Hearn would take a chance like that.
But just at the same time, you're looking. At the same time, I'm looking at like, you know, all the stars, and it's happening anyway, right? So let's get past that, right? Let's talk about stylistically how the Southpaw and the thing. How was that? Would it be an ugly fight? How do you guys break down the fight on the scene? I need to look at the stats, by the way, but how do you guys see the fight going?
Hold on. Charles Martin is Orthodox, right?
No, he's Southpaw.
He's Southpaw too.
Yeah.
This, I mean, see that right there could get ugly. That fight could get ugly on the inside. It really could.
Yes, this is what I'm saying, and this is what I was trying to say. How many Southpaws did he face, man? And he can hit. He can hit, man. I mean, he might be slower than Joshua, He might be slower than Joshua,
Oh
right?
yeah, he's definitely slower than Joshua. There's no denying that. Joshua's definitely the faster opponent, and he's got faster foot speed. So yeah.
So here's the advantages that I'm gonna give to Anthony Joshua, right? As far as boxing pedigree, obviously we're talking about an Olympic gold medalist, right? So he's got the pedigree, he's got the experience. He's just coming off of that massive pay-per-view fight with Dillian Whyte. He's been on the big stage, and you have the other guy who's got to travel all the way to your country. You know, he's got to basically train there, and you know, it's going to be a different experience for Charles Martin. Okay, he's going to be having these bright lights in his face. And Joshua at this stage is used to that. So I do give Joshua a big advantage when it comes to that. And then also from a skill set perspective, you know, I think he's the better boxer. Where I worry about Joshua is how is he going to handle a southpaw, and also how good is his conditioning going to be, because he's been so used to getting guys out of there very quickly. You know, that last fight versus Dillian Whyte, we saw when that fight started to linger on a little bit, you saw Joshua kind of had those spaces where he had those mental lapses as the fight kind of lingered on. And when you're fighting a guy that's dangerous, I don't know if you could have those kind of mental lapses.
But
No, you can't. You can't.
Go ahead, Carter. Yeah, the point.
Yeah,
Is,
no,
he
he got some stellar points.
Yeah, but he
No,
fought Joker. He fought an undercard of Wilder versus Spitcard. That was a massive Showtime fight. You know what I'm saying? That was a big occasion. Don't you think? I think he'd be able to handle it. I mean, in America, there was that crowd was pretty big though, Joker. So I don't know. I think he'll be all right with that.
I mean, it was a big crowd, but when you talk about, you know, the O2 Arena and the atmosphere and the electricity that was surrounding that fight, even while watching that fight myself, I'm noticing, you know, like the fanfare, everything that's going on. That, I mean, that type of, you know, that type of fight. What's going on, bro? That type of fight and that type of atmosphere can turn men into mice.
Absolutely. It's true, you know. Hey,
you know,
yeah, go ahead.
And then, you know, I mean, because when we look at the Showtime card, how many people was there? Let me see, 15, 20,000 people maybe for that Showtime for that Wilder Spilker card. You know, so when you look at the O2 Arena and you look at that atmosphere, it's a whole. The UK fight fan is different. It's more passionate. It's more electricity there than the American fight fan. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the Polish fans, the Polish, they ain't too far from England, bro. Polish fans look on it, you know what I'm saying, bro? So the Polish, they understand about the fanfare. I think the Polish fans brought that. And my point is, I don't think Martin's gonna be bothered by that. But listen to this, yeah. You know, if this thing about this, if Joshua beats Martin, we're talking about unification with Deontay Wilder. We're talking about a big fight with David Haye. We're talking big money fights now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Who's the mandatory in the IBF as of right now?
That's why we gonna go look at that. We need to break this down. In the meantime, Wood, you wanna give your take, Wood?
Y'all talking about Anthony Joshua fighting against Charles Martin?
Yeah, it's confirmed, man.
Nah, I think that's an even fight. I think that's an even.
Hey, where you at, man? You need to get close to the mic, man. You too far away. Step up to the mic. Put your lips on the mic, man.
Close to the mic.
Yeah, there you go, Wood. There you go. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, they both even in experience and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a really good fight. So I don't see the problem. People always make a big deal out the logistics, where it's going to be at and who is going to benefit. But once the two men in the ring, I don't see who the fans can't fight for you, the trainer can't fight for you, and I don't see what the problem. I don't see what the problem is where it's going to be at, unless it's going to be some funny business with the judging or the refereeing or something like that. But if it's going to be a legit up and up fight, the logistics shouldn't be no problem. I don't understand.
All right. The question for Joker. Joker asked me the question about the ranking. So, number 3, they haven't got a number 1 contender. They haven't got number 2. But number 3, Erkan Temper. He's number 3. Anthony Joshua's number 4. So they looked on that and probably bought that fight. So that's where Martin is at the minute. So
okay. So this is considered a voluntary title defense then?
That's correct.
Now, let
Okay.
me
Can I
ask you-
say something? Can I say something?
Good, Wood.
Because as soon as now, you know, I'm not trying to take nobody's size or anything like that. I know all the sharks, all the sharks smelled blood in the water as soon as Martin got the belt. Now everybody is positioning for their fighter to fight these risky fights. Everybody smelled blood in the water now because he got the belts. Now people giving up. I think people paying these people to give up their positions to fight Martin for Joshua can hurry up and get that fight because they see that Martin is an easy way for him to become a world champion. I'm not trying to diss nobody, but that's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like it's a money thing to me. It seemed like people stepping aside to make that big fight. So because Martin seemed like he easy to beat.
I told you. I knew it.
Go ahead, Joker. Hey, Joker. I want to hear Joker's take. Go ahead, Joker.
Well, what I wanted to ask you is this question, Errol. I wanted to ask you this question. Like, what do you think Eddie Hearn and them are going to do? Do you think that if Anthony Joshua wins the IBF, okay, is he going to sit there and start trying to fight these mandatories and things like that? Because remember, at that point, he's a pay-per-view star. Would he rather just take the IBF and then try to fight a David Haye or have a unification with Fury, or is he going to go the other route?
He gonna keep that belt. He gonna keep that belt. He gonna hide the belt.
No. I'm gonna tell you what. The IBF is probably one of the more stricter sanctioning bodies. They will strip that man if he doesn't do a mandatory within the first 9 to 12 months.
Don't Brook got an IBF belt.
Listen to this. The IBF and Eddie Hearn are best friends. That's why you think
Don't Brook got an IBF belt.
they ain't gonna listen. Why the IBF is not gonna strip the big money payday? That's why they ain't strip Brook. Brook's making enough money. They ain't gonna IBF and Eddie Hearn are good friends. It's not.
I agree with that.
Look at Brook. Who Brook fought? Yeah, Brook haven't fought nobody yet. He got the IBF belt. It's all about money, man.
Yeah, but every time
Eddie
he
Hearn's
fights,
got the IBF in his pocket for sure.
but exactly. Every time Brook fights, he sells that arena. He gets Eddie Hearn to stack the card. It's a big money fight. The IBF love coming over to the UK. Like the officials for the IBF love coming over to the UK to make big money. So this is the thing, right? This is about money. Now, me and Joker have already stated that we think it's a bit early. I know you guys think it's blood in the water, but with Prince Charles Martin, I disagree, and Joker does as well. But this is the thing. Now, if he wins the fight, look, he's got easy run. Erkin Temper's next in line. So I think he was, and listen to this. Joshua was gonna fight Erkin Temper for the European belt. So I think if you look at it that way, I think they probably made a smart move. Why fight Erkin Temper when we can fight the champion? It's the same. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think blood in the water because he wasn't talking anything about fighting nobody for no IBF until that guy Martin got the belt. So you know that's the case, man. It don't take a genius to figure that out.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, I got some stats for you, actually. So Anthony Joshua stands at 6'6", yeah. He's got a reach of 82, yeah. Now Charles Martin officially on BoxRec, he stands 6'5", and his reach is 80. Listen, I don't know how much if Joshua uses his jab and stuff because Martin uses his jab. So Joshua's got the advantage and height and reach. What's your guys' take? Chop that up.
I think that Anthony Joshua is very athletic and he long, and that guy is very slow, and he's gonna throw some hard punches, catch that nigga, and knock him out and get that belt and keep it for 10 years and keep it over in England.
There for that, bro. Joker, what's your take?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a dangerous fight. I think it's going to be a very entertaining fight. I agree with you. It's going to be a massive fight regardless, man. Like I told you, I think it's going to probably do like 600,000 buys. It's going to be a huge fight. You know, I give Joshua the advantage. I give him the edge. But I do think he's going to leave this fight with some bumps and bruises. I don't think he's going to walk in there and just grab the belt from Charles Martin's hands like a lot of people think. I think
it was going to be that easy. Nobody said it was going to be that easy. But if somebody else would have had that belt, he wouldn't be his people wouldn't be positioning for him to get that belt. He'd be trying to get an England belt like he was at first.
I agree with you that they think that Charles Martin is the weak link, but I don't think he's as weak as people think, though. That's what I'm saying.
He's slow as shit. I can tell you that.
Damn sure is.
You know, give me Joker. Let me ask Joker and Carney. Carly, did you guys pick Martin against Glazkov? Truthfully, who did you think?
I picked Martin against Glazkov. I did. No lie. I picked Martin.
Wood?
I picked Glazkov.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. There you go. That Joker, who did you pick?
I didn't really know, man. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. I never really picked anybody. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. I thought either guy would win. I was surprised that Glazkov went down the way that he did go down. That surprised me big time.
All right, listen up, guys. Eddie Hearn's going to be talking now, so I'm going to turn the volume up. Live on Sky Sports over in the UK. So we should be getting Eddie Hearn talking because last time he had technical problems. I'm getting out on the limb, right now. I'm picking Martin. Eddie Hearn should be way up. Way up.
So let's speak now.
Here we go, Eddie Hearn, guys.
Boxing commentator and expert and analyst Adam Smith is on the line. Adam, he wanted this title shot, didn't he? And he's got his shot in the end. Is it the right time for Anthony Joshua?
That's a really good question. Is it the right time? This is risky business. I mean, he's stepping up, obviously, to fight for the world title. It's huge news. It's going to be a huge night on April the 9th at the O2. I personally think yes. I think that he should be taking these opportunities. The heavyweight division is absolutely thriving. Obviously, David Hayes back in the mix. Tyson Fury had that wonderful win over Vladimir Klitschko at the end of last year. And as for Joshua, he had the cracker with Dillian Whyte, where he had to come through some rough moments in that second round, but he prevailed. And now he's got this chance against Charles Martin. And I think it's hats off to Eddie Hearn and his team to be landing this shot in April. I think it's a fantastic chance, a golden opportunity for the golden boy from the Olympics, Anthony Joshua, and one that I believe he can take, yes, but Charles Martin is unbeaten. He's American, he's 6'5", he's a southpaw. I was with him in New York when he won that title, albeit in this sort of strange circumstances against Vyacheslav Glazkov. But, Martin will come full of confidence, full of belief as the world champion. It's another mouth-watering fight for Sky Sports box office.
Oh, we look forward to it. Thanks for bringing us up to date with it. Tell us a bit more about Martin as well, because a number of our viewers won't be as familiar with him. But let me just ask you, Adam, is this the year that Joshua, in your opinion, do you think really turns his potential into that world-class ability and really takes that next step up?
I think so. I mean, he's blown everyone away, really, apart from Dillian Whyte, who gave him a tough few rounds. But, he's got 15 knockouts in his 15 wins. It is early, if you look on paper, to be fighting for a world heavyweight title. But, this division is open. It's unpredictable. And, at this sort of stage, there's a way of thinking that sort of, a lot of heavyweights, anyone could beat anyone a little bit. Tyson Fury got that win over Vladimir Klitschko, which was really unexpected. He's going to have his rematch. Can Klitschko exact revenge, or will Fury keep reigning there? Deontay Wilder had his problems, against Artur Spilka last time out before he finally got to him with that power. David Hay back in the mix. It's terrific for fight fans to see these heavyweights go at each other. I think it's a great one. But, Joshua's going straight in with one of the world's best in Charles Martin.
We look forward to it. Adam, many thanks for joining us on the line tonight.
A pleasure.
All right. Hey, thanks. So that was Adam Smith, head of Sky Sports Boxing. What's your guys' take on what he said? I think he more or less said what we were saying anyway, innit?
Yeah.
We were saying.
Yeah. I think he more or less.
He even admitted it. What we were saying that it's a little early for him to be getting that shot, and he only got 15. He even admitted it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's the. That's what I'm saying.
That kills your argument right. That kills your argument right there, EJ, because he just said what we were saying, that is a little early.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm trying. This is what me and Joker was saying. Look, this is the truth. I mean, Joker was chopping up earlier on. Let's look at this. Andy Joshua, yeah. Andy Joshua's fighting Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte came off a ban of 3 years of a ban, and he had 5 opponents, like fighting these opponents back to back, 5 of them, yeah. And my point is, Dillian and Dillian's trainer, Mr. Ali Bashir, or actually, I can trying to get on the line actually. Probably try to call him in a sec, yeah. He felt, yeah, that he thinks it was a great fight, but Dillian was a bit early for Dillian, and he picked Joshua because Dillian wasn't ready because he came off the layoff. He had like 4 fights in the year, and it wasn't really good fight. It wasn't a good preparation to go against Anthony Joshua. Now, is Dillian Whyte a good preparation for him to
Can
fight?
I ask you a question? How can Alex Bashir be training somebody and think the other guy gonna win? That's crazy.
That's what Dillian said. Dillian actually was upset with him. Dillian confronted Mr. Bashir and told Mr. Bashir, why you do that? And also did Jonathan Banks. They went up to him and said they didn't like that. Yeah, good point, Wood. They actually did that. When I talked to Mr. Bashir, he goes, "That's my opinion." He's like, "Hey, he's 65
Well,
years
you
old."
can't train. Well, you gotta recuse yourself from the job if you don't think that the how can you prep truly prep somebody in taking on a job that you're not even sure that the person is competent that they can win. That's like a conflict of interest right there. I wouldn't have paid him shit.
Yeah, but this is the final. He was being honest. He was being honest. That's his opinion, you know.
Well, he would be honest, and I would have fired him. I would have fired him.
That's real talk right there. Yeah, you can't. I mean, because if Mr. Bashir didn't think that he had a shot, then he shouldn't have been training him.
He should have stepped down.
You guys are serious, Joker. What you think? What you think?
Man, look, man, I'm just excited about this fight. I think again, it's a risky fight, but it's gonna be a good fight, and we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, I think that we're gonna see what level Joshua's at right now.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna find out if he's on championship level because to get where he wants to go, he's gonna have to go through a Tyson Fury, a David Haye. He's gonna have to be in some of these big, huge fights. So at the end of the day, those guys are better than Charles Martin. So we're going to see, but the question is, like you and I have talked about, EJ, the question is, at this moment, is he ready? And we're going to find out.
That's right. That's right.
The problem is, though, he don't have if he win the belt, he won't have to find out until about 5 or 6 years because he can fight any bum over in England and fill out the O2 arena and make millions of dollars. So he won't be finding out anyway if he get that belt.
And maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe that's what their plan is. But my only rebuttal to that would be this though. Like, if he gets that belt at some point in time, the fans are gonna demand that he has to fight a good opponent. You see, that's kind of happening with Kell Brook right now. Kell Brook was kind of doing that. He was fighting a couple of bums and having a good time, and now everybody's like, all right, dude, you got to step up. So the same thing will happen to Joshua eventually. The honeymoon will end once you get that chance.
Who said that? I didn't hear nobody saying that shit. He ready to fight a bum.
Nah. Joker's right.
Calling him out. He's taking heat, bro. He's taking heat.
He will take heat, man. That's what you can't win a world championship and try and take easy steps. You ain't doing that. That's what Kell's taking so much heat. And right now Kell's looking like a sucker. You know what I'm saying? And this is all under Eddie Hearn's watch. Everyone can see what's going on. Lee Selby. Lee Selby.
Hold up, EJ. Hold up, man. You keep talking. You won't let nobody else talk, man. Look, only reason he doing that shit is because Khan stepped up and took on this hard ass fight. Now he won. Now he's starting to look like a sucker. But if Khan would have never took this Canelo fight, he still wouldn't have been talking about. He still would have been fighting bums, chasing the mid card. Man, we gotta call these motherfuckers out on their bullshit, man. The only reason he's talking this shit now is because of Khan stepped up and took a real risky fight that can hurt his career. People think that.
Let's put this Khan thing in perspective. He fighting Canelo, he's expected to lose, and when he does lose, it's not going to hurt his career. He didn't want to fight Brook, period. That's just what it is.
Canelo might knock his ass into next fucking week.
Exactly. So it's not a question of whether. So it's not a question of him stepping up. He's going after the money to boost his profile, knowing that he's going to lose.
Even if you get knocked into, even if you think it's a good thing fighting on national TV with your family and everybody, your fans and everybody watching, and getting knocked out on pay-per-view, you think somebody would actually put themselves through that for extra money when you already rich? If you don't think you can win, you think somebody would actually get knocked out on out?
You and I both know Khan cannot beat Canelo.
Yeah, but Khan think he can beat him.
Hey, Khan could beat him. I think Khan could beat him. Would I even
I
go?
don't think. I don't
Put
think.
yourself through that. Why would you put your family? Why would you put your family in Why would you put your family in your? Why would you put yourself through that when he got other options? He got he got Danny Garcia, who he can make millions of dollars. He got books. Why would he put himself through that? Get himself beat the fuck up on
See,
TV?
but here's the thing. See, I ask myself the same question. Why step up and fight for a middleweight title when you've never even fought at 154?
He can beat him. He see is the easy Canelo. Canelo is not the average he's not the average middleweight person. If anybody know anything about anything, he's not the average middleweight. He don't even want to fight at 160. Khan think he can beat this. Khan think he can beat this motherfucker. It's not like he's fighting against Andre or the Charlos or some tall person or somebody. He fighting against somebody with all kind of extra skills. He fighting against somebody that is his size, but just a little thicker and stronger. He think he can beat this motherfucker, man. You ain't see, he ain't pick Triple G or nobody, or he ain't fight the other guy he ain't pick Billy Joe Saunders or nobody. He think he can beat him, man, because Canelo is a little short. Canelo, he looked like he lost a whole lot of his goddamn fights. He looked like he lost a fight against Lara, the Trout.
Of course. Yeah, you and me agree on that one, cause you and me agree on that one. But here's the problem, though. Does Khan have Laura's foundation as a pure boxer, as a defensive specialist?
Look, I'm telling you, if he can last the 12 rounds and he can get some shots off and get away from this thing, he may beat him. It's not like I don't see all these special skills that people think that Canelo got, because I don't see the shit. I see a lot of them fights. He look like he done fucking lost. He get out of breath when he was fighting against that other guy he knocked out. He was all out of breath and all that shit, man. Come fuck around and beat his ass and get the middleweight fucking belt and make everybody look stupid.
And I'll be the first to congratulate Khan on that one, but I just don't see where it's gonna happen. He doesn't have, to me, he just doesn't have enough power to keep Canelo off him. Canelo looks like he could just walk through Khan's punches.
Mayweather didn't have all that motherfucking power, and Mayweather kept his ass off of him.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but Mayweather's a totally different beast, though. Look how many times he made Canelo miss in the pocket.
Man, Mayweather was making him look stupid, and I'm telling you, Khan might employ some of the. He might not employ all. He don't have all the Mayweather skills and give him all those different looks. But he might give him enough looks to keep him off of him and get some Khan fast as shit. You see what he did to Alexander? He made Alexander look like a goddamn. He made Alexander look like shit.
Of course.
Khan can fight better than a lot of these people think. He can fight better than a lot of these people just because he got knocked out a couple of times, man. You can't sleep on a person like that, man. He was beating the shit out of Danny Garcia before he got knocked out.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, me and Joe could chop this up already on that one, man. Boy, Khan's in a situation where he's in a no-lose situation like Prince Charles Martin. If Khan loses, yeah, it was a step through, but we don't mind.
I would expect him to win anyway, but I don't think that Khan thinking he gonna go into this and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get. I don't care. Nobody, none of us gonna call all of our friends and everybody that we know get together and get knocked out in front of all our friends and family, our wives and children and all that, and girlfriends, and none of us will do that. So why would you think somebody else would do that? It don't make any sense for somebody to want to get knocked out in front of all their friends and family.
Would. This is the thing. They know that I would. That's the game they chose to provide for their families. I don't think they're concerned about that. Me and you would. Well, I know you don't want to get knocked up. You got knocked the fuck out. You don't want to get that happen to you like Friday.
Shit, it might, because we don't do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody don't want that. And you think he's a star. He's not no.
Hey, we talking about Charles Martin? You talking about Martin or you talking about Khan? Who you talking about?
Martin think he can win. Martin think he can win.
No. I'm gonna tell you that Martin's people. If you saw the press conference, Derek Schlurer called him out after on the press conference when he was talking. Now they're looking for the biggest payday possible. And the payday that even if he gets hurt, Martin, I'm talking about, they'd be all right. They're gonna be making over like at least you're looking okay with White and Joshua. They made near close to 10 million. Near close to 10 million. I don't know the full thing. They know close. Someone might have to come back on me on that one. So this is a world championship. So you're looking like maybe 25 million. I'm just putting it out there. Right? So Martin would be looking to get in this fight at least 15 or something like that. Joshua will probably get the lion's share. 15.
Yeah.
That's the most bigger payday. He can look after his family. You don't even need to fight again for a while. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's a lottery ticket right there. That's a lottery ticket.
That's a cash out. That's a straight cash out.
Right? That's the reason. It's the money, man. This is the money. This is the money game. They're cashing out, you know. And
I don't think Khan cashing out because Khan got too many fucking options, and Khan is not no.
Khan's cashing out. Khan can cash out on this one. He can cash out on this one because who else? What Pacquiao can't. He ain't gonna fight Pacquiao. Mayer was retired. If he loses the thing like Ricky Hatton and loses badly, where did he go from this? If he gets beaten up really badly, he don't have to fight Kell Brook because he's bashed up goods. Why would we want to see that if he gets bashed up? If he beats Canelo soundly, cleanly, then maybe we might call for him to fit. But it depends what happens in it. I think Eddie Hearn might be talking. No, not talking yet. Yeah,
I mean, okay. Now here's a question. Now here's a legit question. Would he have got paid more to fight Brook or Canelo?
He would have got paid against Brook. No. Actually, you know what? No, I think Brook. I think he would have got paid more because that's a stadium fight over here.
Right.
But check it out. It almost broke the internet when Khan. It was like 5 or 6 spontaneous shows when Khan said he was gonna fight Canelo. He almost broke the fucking internet. You know how much money this shit gonna do when they do the press conference and all that type of shit. He gonna putting himself in this big threat. He gonna get compensated for this shit. He gonna get money, man.
Oh, but the UK we're talking a massive stadium fight. I don't know. You know what you guys take? You over there, Joker. What's your take? Joker, what's your take? You reckon it would have got more to face Canelo than Brook? What you Khan we're talking about? What do you think?
What do I think of the Khan versus Canelo fight?
Yeah, would that be more than Brook? Or what's your take?
Oh, you're talking about money wise?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is, again, I think what Khan was looking at is, I think right now he doesn't want to take a loss to Kell Brook. Let's just be honest. He doesn't want to risk losing to Kell Brook right now.
Exactly.
And I think he said, you know what, I'm gonna take this risk versus Canelo. You know, I don't know. I feel like money wise, I'm not sure. I really can't tell. I feel like it's around the same amount.
How you think it's the same amount, man? Because it's you know, you gotta think about the Mexican. You gotta put a whole. You gotta think about the Mexicans, all the Mexicans, Canelo. You gotta think about the American fans. You gotta think of people just gonna be watching it just for curiosity of this this is gonna be people. A lot of people gonna order this shit just to be curious of to see Khan get his ass kicked. A lot of people gonna order just to see Khan get his ass kicked.
I agree with you on that one, especially because people are gonna be buying in the U.S. and in the U.K. But the difference is that with the Khan Canelo fight, what you got to remember is Canelo's going to be the A side, so he's going to be getting the higher percentage of the cut. So, you know, overall, yeah, it's going to be a huge, massive fight, but how much of that money is Khan really going to be seeing as opposed to when he fights Kell Brook, which is going to be, you know, probably in Khan's favor?
I don't know,
because I remember, because didn't Eddie Hearn offer Khan like a substantial amount of money for that Brook fight?
I think he did, but I guess it wasn't enough for Amir Khan, man.
That's it, exactly.
Let me put it like this, right? I'm because I'll be on the UK. I guaranteed, because I've seen it, that Canelo is more popular in his country than Kell is over here. This is what I think, right? You know why I say that? Because I see Canelo on normal commercials in Mexico. I see him in normal TV Mexico commercials every minute. Brooke's not on that. Amir Khan is. Amir Khan's on normal commercials over here. But I don't see Brooke is like that. So I think I'm going to have to retract that. I think that Canelo is when it's all said and done, I think that's a much bigger payday in terms of things. But for the UK, it's massive. But it's not. I think it's bigger on the world scene. So just to see Khan, you know, mix up with Canelo, I think that
almost broke the internet. It almost broke the internet. People.
I agree with you on that. Good points.
Yeah, that's a good point, Wood. That's a good point. He almost broke the internet. It's true. And if Brooke and Khan would have would have broke the internet?
No, I don't know. I don't know them when it broke. It probably would just been big over where they fighting at. It wouldn't have. When everybody was talking about that. People was in gyms asking fighters and asking who you think gonna win. Man, that shit was the whole internet was talking about that. That shit was trending. That shit was trending all over. People was doing spontaneous shows, and nobody would have did no spontaneous show as Brooke and Khan would have fought. That's normal shit. That's normal. That's normal shit.
I don't know, because the build up to Brooke and Khan, I don't know. That I think that would have been one of the biggest fights in UK period.
I gotta go with Wood because I'm over in the UK. I can guarantee. I'm telling you, it did. And the thing is, it was a period where there's nothing going on. You know, there was nothing going on. I actually have to agree with that. And the thing is, they haven't done the press tour yet. You know when
watch when they do that shit. That's when you're gonna see how big it's gonna be, Jim. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Because Khan's gonna go over to Manchester. He's gonna go to Bolton. He might do a London tour, then he's gonna go back over to Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, they will build it up, man. And Golden Boy,
it's gonna be built up. It's gonna be big.
Yeah, I you know, I actually agree with that. All right, let's switch back to the heavyweight again. Eddie Hearn has got numerous champions. He's got James DeGale. He's got what's his name again? He's got the Welsh Mayweather. What's his name again? Oh, I lost his name again. The one who beat the Granovich. He's got him. He's got various champions on his card. I actually think this card, when it's all said and done, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a monster. You know what I'm saying? I think because if the Dillian Whyte thing, if they can get Eubanks on the card as well, it's going to be huge. Like, who do you think is going to be on undercard? What undercard fights is going to be? Or maybe
that's undercard. Oh no, Eddie Hearn gonna have to stack that undercard though. I definitely want to see a stacked undercard.
There's gonna be a whole bunch of people that we don't even know over in America. You watch.
Hey, Arrow, who is Billy Joe Saunders signed to?
He's signed with Frank Warren.
Okay, he's with Warren. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, but
do Warren and Hearn do business with each other?
They do if it's a purse bid. If they're forced in it by a purse bid, but they wouldn't normally just out and out do business. It's not they're not happily to do business with each other. I think this undercard is going to be huge. I think they're going to stack the undercard big. They're going to put some real good fights on the undercard. Maybe, because listen to this, right? Tell me, am I wrong or not? Prince Charles Martin is affiliated with Al Heyman. Is that correct?
Right.
Arcadian. So he gonna put some. Maybe you put some Al Heyman fighters on the undercard. Which Al Heyman fighters against a matchroom fighters they might be looking for. I think it's gonna be huge.
Now,
Lee Selby. It was the Welsh Mayweather. It was Lee Selby, by the way. It was Lee Selby. I bet someone in the chat probably said that. Go ahead.
I would, you know what though? I would make it an all heavyweight affair. I would try to make it. I would try to stack it with as many heavyweight contenders as possible.
Yeah, really?
Can I say something? Because I'm about to cut out in a little bit. I'm gonna say something, man. Look, check this out. Why would you think they would try to spend a whole lot of money on a card where it's going to make a lot of money if they try to spend less money? Y'all think these people trying to give us a whole bunch of fights when they can scratch that shit out and they not trying to put a whole bunch of fights on they don't do business like that no more. When they do that, put a whole bunch of fights on one card.
Yeah, what Heyman been doing it. Heyman been doing it.
We talking about the UK here, bro. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we over here we do. And you do that because you maximize the amount of people going to be turning up. Because it makes it already. You're intrigued for Joshua fighting a world championship already. But will you? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna
be tuned in. I'm gonna see.
On the Joshua Whyte fight, you had Eubanks versus that fight. Everyone was want to see what Eubanks is about, right? That's the Eubanks there. The undercard was good. You can put James DeGale against maybe, I don't know, one of them top super middleweight guys on there. That's going to be good, man. You know, that's all you need is another world championship bout on that, and that's going to be huge. The whole boxing world bubbling. I reckon 2016 is looking real comfortable right now. So we're in for a treat, bro. We're in for a treat. So Khan Canelo's going to be in May. This one's going to be in April. Man, this is good, bro. It's good for boxing.
Yeah, and what I want to add to that, though, what I do like is I like the fact that you got a lot of fighters who are going about it this year a lot differently. You know, in past years, we've seen guys really trying to market being undefeated, and they're not really taking as much risk because they don't want to lose. And I think what's happening is fans right now, they're demanding really good fights. We want to see the best fight the best, so that's why we're getting Charles Martin, Joshua. We're getting, I mean, Khan Canelo isn't the most exciting fight in the world. We really want Triple G versus Canelo, but it's still going to be a big fight. And then also, of course, we got Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman. So this year is starting to really shape out to be a really good year.
Yeah, because normally what happens in the boxing, where after we have one really big year, the next year normally is a letdown.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but at least they're trying to keep pace with what happened in 2015. So
let me put it this right: like we got
because we still got Ward and Kovalev coming up at the end of the year. So
yeah, that's true. Let me put it to this right: we've got Quigg and Frampton happening in the UK, and
what y'all think about that Ward Barrera fight?
Who?
That has been finalized.
Oh, Ward and Barrera. I don't know, man. Not too much on that one. Woods bounced it. Joker, give your take on that one, bro.
I think it's gonna be a tough fight, man. He's fighting a game opponent. This is a guy that a lot of people have wanted him to fight for a long time. I think it's the perfect fight if you're getting ready to fight Sergey Kovalev. This guy has power. I want to say he's Cuban. I'm not sure if he's Cuban or if he's
yeah, he's Cuban. Yeah, he's
a good Cuban fighter. You know, he's gonna have a tricky game style, and I think this is gonna let us know how Ward is gonna handle that power. It's gonna kind of give us a peep into what Ward's game plan is gonna be for Kovalev, because obviously he's got to stay away. We don't really expect Ward to be trying to mix it up with Kovalev too well. He's gonna have to pick his spots. So this is gonna tell us what Ward's game plan is gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. I think it's a good fight, and I think it'll be an entertaining one, and I got Ward winning that fight.
Yeah, yeah. See the thing about with Kovalev, I think getting on the inside is the best way to beat him, because Kovalev is best with his mid range. I don't think Kovalev is as good as in the phone booth as people think that he is. He needs a little bit of distance so he can connect with that jab. That jab sets up everything for him.
Great point.
And if you dig in his chest a little bit, he can't hit you with the jab, and he's forcing him to take some force off those punches, because he's forced to shorten those blows for a minute.
That's a really good point, because a lot of times what a lot of people don't understand is sometimes the way to deal with a power puncher, just like you said, man, is by smothering their power. You've seen people do that to Mike Tyson, and even if you watch George Foreman's fights, you know, Ali did that in spots in their fight. That's the way sometimes to deal with a guy who has massive power, who really wants to wind back. You know, you got to sometimes get on the inside and get in that danger zone and kind of mix it up with him. And that could tire out a guy like Kovalev. And I don't know how experienced Kovalev is going to be on the inside with a guy like Andre Ward, who's made a living fighting on the inside. So
exactly. Because remember the first fight with Pascal, when Pascal when he won those rounds 5 and 6, when Pascal finally started to take chances, he did it in the wheelhouse.
Yeah,
he did. He definitely did it, and he made Kovalev respect his power, and he made Kovalev fight from a distance, and start measuring him with the jab again.
Good points. Agreed, man.
Yeah. All right. So Frampton and Quigg, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to this. This year. You know, but yeah, this heavyweight fight is gonna be. I'm gonna be tuned in. It's gonna be hard to tell who they gonna try to stack the card with, though.
Yeah, but see Frampton and Quigg, yeah, like that one before in a normal year, that would be a huge fight. I think it's here now. No one really cares. I saw the face to face, whatever, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the promotional for
what's the deal with the Eddie Hearn Mayweather Heyman connection? Well, what's the schematics behind that?
Hey, let me just get this one out first, though. Let me get this one out, and then I'll jump into that one. But the feed of Frampton and Quigg in a normal year, that would be a huge fight. I don't know if it's such a big fight no more with Joshua, because the heavyweights are just overwhelming the rest of boxing divisions. The heavyweight has always been the jewel crown of the heavyweight division. Frampton and Quigg is happening. I don't know how big it is. I mean, when it happens, you know, we're going to see if it's going to be big. But these heavyweight fights are big. Going back to what you were saying about Mayweather and Eddie Hearn, I don't know. I think it's a case of maybe it's the same thing, Al Hamm and Eddie Hearn. So maybe you're going to get some of Mayweather's fighters coming over and fighting Eddie Hearn's fighters, which is what I'm trying to say. So let's say Mayweather's fighters are going to be on the undercard of the Prince Charles and Joshua fight. That's going to be huge. This is what I'm trying to say. Because Eddie Hearn's cool. The only person he doesn't really get along with is Frank Warren. But other than that, he's cool with everyone. Which fighters can Mayweather go against Frank Warren's fighters? That's all it is. They're just going to collab and put fighters together. That's the deal there, Carney.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because Mayweather's got his own company. He's friends with them. Obviously, Mayweather made a deal with him. So that's more or less what it is. But Mayweather's stable. Other than Badu Jack. Okay, Badu Jack versus James DeGale.
Yeah.
You know? That's the one, right?
Yeah, that's inevitable. I thought that Floyd wanted Badu Jack to fight Chavez Jr. first before the James DeGale fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Like Floyd said, he wants the James DeGale fight to happen with Badu Jack. But I think he wants to get that one more name on his resume to strengthen the bargaining power.
Okay, well, that could be a possibility, man. That could be a possibility. Let me see what's going on. So there's some people hitting me up. You guys over here. Hey, so what else? Any guys you guys want to bring up?
I think that's all. I think that's the biggest news in boxing right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is, man. I think it is. I mean, I don't know if Ward's gonna be fighting Cole at the end of the year. Ward don't look like he's in a hurry to be fighting.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me bring this up.
Okay, good.
On Tyson Fury's Twitter, I don't know if you guys saw it, but this weekend he made an announcement saying that he was going to be announcing a big fight really soon too, and that's why a lot of people were speculating that he could have been a potential opponent for Joshua. But obviously we already heard that he was going to rematch Klitschko, but he's making it sound like he might not be going that route. So maybe Tyson Fury at this stage is just looking for a mega fight. So who do you guys think that Tyson Fury could be looking to fight?
See, that's BS right there. That's BS. Because if that's the case, then he never should have got stripped for the IBF strap.
Nah, he should.
The IBF stripped him because he opted for the Klitschko rematch rather than fighting Glazkov. So what was the purpose of letting the IBF strip him for if he's not going in Klitschko's direction?
That's a good point.
I think he should be stripped because if he's not gonna be fighting, look, Klitschko's put a stipulation. If you like Lennox Lewis against Hassan Rahman, right? Hassan Rahman knocked him out. Lennox Lewis had a rematch clause that he has to fight him. Has to fight him. If he doesn't, it's gonna go to court. He actually went to court and Lennox Lewis won the court case and they had to fight. So if he's gonna go off and fight and not fight Vladimir Klitschko, he deserved to be stripped. I mean, he didn't have. He was supposed to fight Glazkov, right? And everyone saw what he could have did with him. He could have fought Glazkov. He could have negotiated and stretched it out. But he said, you know what? We're never going to negotiate. We gave up our belt. And this is why Martin has been allowed. Martin and Glazkov were allowed to get in. People thought Glazkov when Martin won that. And now we've got a huge fight. So if Fury goes that route and doesn't fight Klitschko will claim a belt. The belt is going to be fractured, which probably be good for the heavyweight. Because there's going to be a lot of belts out there for everyone can kind of pick up and start again. But would they fight each other? I don't know.
That's so oh man. Yeah, to me, if he didn't want to go Klitschko's route, then he should just went on for Glazkov and then just went on ahead and like he could have fought twice or three times this year. He really could have. Ivan. He could have done that. He could have said, okay. He could have. Huh?
Talking about retirement.
No, I'm talking about as far as Fury and Klitschko.
Yeah, Fury's talking about retirement.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Oh.
Yeah, tell him, Joe.
There's a lot of people who are speculating. I'm actually looking at it on Facebook right now. A lot of people are saying the winner of Charles Martin and Joshua might be fighting Tyson Fury, which, like I said, I think Tyson Fury right now is he's looking to probably pack it in, and he's gonna want a big fight before he goes. He's already been burned by David Haye 2 times now, so I don't know if he's gonna go and try to make that negotiation. So that means that a Joshua versus Fury fight might be inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to David Haye route myself anyway. I wouldn't go to David Haye route anyway. Because they, like I said, because like you said, they had their chance to fight. For some reason, David Haye just didn't make it happen. Right. For what reason, I don't know. But yeah, but when he closed that door twice, I wouldn't go back to that door and try to reopen it. So yeah,
that's real funny. He closed that door. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, man. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Let me try and call Mr. Bashir. Bear with me, cause I don't know Mr. Bashir. Actually, I ain't got his number here. Let me call Spencer Ferrer from Sky Sports. Let me see if he's around. I got a couple of people contact. I don't know if you guys be able to hear him though, but let me see. Spencer Ferrer. All right, let me see. Spencer, where you at, man? Spencer Ferrer from Sky Sports. Call him right now. Yo, Spencer, EJ Boxing Live here. I'm on a hangout. I want to ask you quickly your take on Prince Charles Martin going to be fighting Anthony Joshua April the 9th.
EJ, give me 2 minutes. I'll call you right back.
Okay, cool, bro. No worries. Spencer's probably busy, so we didn't get that phone call in. Who else we got over there? I think that's it, really. I think that's really it in terms of other people I can call to talk to about that. Because I'm telling you, man, I don't know if it's a big shock. Actually, Boxing Beats is a big video Beats on the line. You might be talking to someone actually before Beats.
Well, guys, hey, I gotta actually peel out. I got work later and whatnot. But in closing, man, it's gonna be a great fight, and looking forward to it.
Definitely, man.
Hey, Joker, you going?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and roll out. Good chatting with you guys, man. Good chatting.
All right, Joker. Cool.
All right.
We catch up again, bro. Take care.
Sounds good, man. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right, peace out, bro. Man, let me call Beats. Let me send Beats a link, actually. Maybe he jumps in. Update. He might be busy. So, Carney, man, there's some good news for boxing, right? For boxing.
Yeah, this is real big news for boxing.
Good news for boxing fans, man. I mean, there's some people in the chat. I've been ignoring the people in the chat, by the way. Sorry, you guys, man. I'm so engrossed in what's going on. Loads of people in the chat. There's loads of comments in there. Joker's in there. Joker risky fight. Some people think it's a risky fight. What we got? We're boxing. Some people dislike what I'm saying. Some people really dislike what I'm saying. I'm good. Some people getting in on me, eh? Some people think it's I ain't gonna read their name out, brother. Mr. GGGOD1, he says it's great news. It's great news, EJ. What have we got over here? I see Martin and Joshua as contenders, so they're not supposed to be fighting each other. Exactly. Their levels of experience is pretty much equal. I don't consider Dillian Whyte a great win for Joshua. See, this is my point, man. This is my point, you know. What else we got over here? I am excited about the fight because we show the true potential of both fighters. That's no place like NYC. Yeah, man. I think that. We go over here. AJ takes it. Some people over here. That's what's his name again? Carpont 09. What else we got over here? Frey beats Joshua Martin though. Eric, I think that's another guy over there. So we got loads of people, mixed comments. Some people think KMKO Chemo says it's a war. It's gonna be a war. What else we got over here? Yeah, that's more or less the comments in it. I think people are actually bubbling about this fight, to be honest with you. I mean, this is what we didn't break down. So the Southpaw Martin, 6'5", he's got a slight reach disadvantage against Joshua. How do you see him fighting Joshua, man? Like, how do you think Joshua gonna deal with that Southpaw, man? And he's a proper Southpaw, and he stands upright. How Joshua gonna deal with him?
That's the $68 million question right there. How's he gonna do it? Like I said, when I found out that Charles Martin was also a Southpaw, that tells me right there it's gonna be a dirty fight on the inside. It really is, you know, because if you think about it, now it's a 2-inch reach advantage, which is not that big of an advantage if you really think about it. Just 2 inches. So
Yeah.
I think
But then
it's gonna be a lot of dirty work on the inside.
But when he fights, does he use his reach?
Charles Martin does. Charles Martin likes to work behind the jab.
Charles Martin likes to work behind the jab. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Joshua likes to get in close and just throw combinations, fast combinations, isn't it?
He's in it. See, yeah, I mean, the logical way for him, honestly, is for Joshua to get on the inside and try to break him down and work his body.
Yeah, I think that's the way Joshua's gonna try. Well, yeah, I think that's the way Joshua's gonna try and fight, man. Joshua's gonna try and get inside, but Martin's man. This is what I'm trying to say to you. See, Martin, yeah. When people look at him, this is what he looks slow, fat, and all them things there. But this is the thing, you can't discount the record, man. But Joshua's record is fast and explosive. You know, something's gonna happen. You know, especially the first round. It's the first punch. If the first punch lands, you know, it's gonna be serious. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about who do you reckon? Because you see, this is the thing when people say about Shinsuke Martin. Yeah, he looks slow. But let me tell you something, okay? Let me go to Prince Charles boxer, right? I'm gonna give out. I think one of these fights has been a draw. So that means he's probably gone 10 rounds, right?
Yeah, he's went the distance before.
So basically, you're looking at a guy who's going to be his conditioning is very good. That's why he takes his time, because he don't realize he doesn't need to go in there and try and blow you up. But Joshua's never been the distance. He's never ever been the distance. He looked good against Finn, but people could see he was tired a bit, but he enjoyed the fight. But the thing is, against Dillian, the levels are kind of the same. So let me show something. So who's going the distance? Technical knockout. Let me see what rounds. Let me see the one who went UD. Let me see with this one real quick. So that guy went to UD. Where is it, man? Come on, man. Okay, UD. How many rounds was it? Oh, it was only a 7-rounder though.
Okay, all right.
No, yeah, I think 7-rounder. I'm come on, 7-rounder. No, it was a 4-rounder. It was a 4-round contest, so it wasn't that much. So it's kind of I think the gambled the right. That was early in his career. That's the only draw he's got in his career.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And the rest of these opponents since then, yeah, he's blasted them all out, man.
All right, so now the logical game plan was for Joshua is to get on him early.
Actually,
and hope that he can get him up out there.
Actually, he's gone 8 rounds. He's gone 8 rounds a couple of times. So 8 rounds. He's gone 8 rounds.
So technically he's still a little bit more conditioned to go the long way, to go all the way than Joshua is.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. Where Joshua's got 100% knockout percentage, but the look of the rounds he's been doing, like 3, 4, the Dillian's the longest round he's ever been. But the thing is, this is what you're talking about, the power, man. When he licks you, when he hits you, bro, it ain't no funny. So
I expect Joshua to come out the gate then. I expect him to come out the gate and try to get him out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Joshua in his training camp, he's not training for a marathon. He's training to get you up out there.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think he's training to this flatline someone, but I think he's looking to take someone out of there. But that's the thing with Martin, who stands upright with the southpaw. It ain't gonna be that easy to just take him out there like that, right? What you think?
No, it's not. It ain't gonna, because he has to do. I mean, because he almost had to fight another southpaw. He almost has to do everything in reverse almost.
And then you're talking about, now you're fighting for a world title. What sparring partners is Joshua bringing into the camp to help him get ready for his big fight?
That's a big question right there, because how many legit heavyweight sparring partners that are southpaws?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It ain't so easy, eh? All the people would think you need to go in and eat him, go and just land one on his chin. Ain't like you said, it ain't gonna be easy, is it?
Nah. Yeah, this fight, it's gonna be a lot harder than what it's letting on to be. It's gonna be a lot harder.
Yeah, or maybe we're making it more complicated than it is. Maybe Joshua will just get in there and just take him out. You know, maybe Joshua will rise to the occasion, go in there and just completely overwhelm Prince Charles Martin with his hand speed, because I think he has the hand speed advantage and he has the reach advantage. But Prince Charles Martin, because look, he's got thinking he's got Harry, he's got with Henry Tillman. Is Henry Tillman? I think it's Henry Tillman who fought Tyson, beat Tyson in amateurs twice. He's got a very experienced corner, and they can, in America, they can bring in, and Al Heyman, Al Heyman will pay for him to bring in some good sparring partners in, because he's in America, ain't it?
Right.
So they will be prepared for the fight, properly. And remember, I don't think he wants to lose his title just yet. I don't think he wants to just let it just go over, let it just get, So
of course, you know that, because it's just like what we said earlier. A win over Anthony Joshua for Charles Martin, that's going to take him to the next level. So now you don't have no choice but to talk unification with the other champions because of that.
Yeah. We're talking, if that fight happens, let's say Joshua gets through, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you the big question. Does he fight in his next fight, Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury? Who do you think he should fight?
I would think the easier fight to make would be with Fury. That's the easier fight to make, I believe.
I think it would be the easier fight. I think so. How do you think that fight would go if that happened? Now
what we talking about now, we talking about him being at a distinct disadvantage with the reach. And Tyson, and the thing about it is with Fury, he doesn't do this often, but he can give you different looks defensively.
He never fought, but the thing is, he got knocked down by Steve Cunningham, bro.
True, and that's true. So he still has an issue to deal with as far as explosive fighters go, because Steve Cunningham, when he fought him, was kind of explosive.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. So, in that, looking at that against Klitschko, Klitschko came into the fight. Klitschko was lazy when he could. Klitschko has got the higher knockout percentage than Tyson Fury, but he didn't come after him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to exchange with Tyson Fury, innit?
But that was Klitschko's problem right there, because he's been doing it one way. See, that's what happens when you've been fighting one way for so long. When Emmanuel Stewart sunk his teeth into him and put his, put his imprint on Klitschko, it's almost like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and you gonna live and die by that, because it's such a tried and true method.
Yeah, you got a good point. That's true. True.
So there was no urgency. The only thing that he was going to do was follow his game plan to the end.
You're absolutely right about that, man. You're absolutely right about that point. And Klitschko probably, like I said, he got complacency. I reckon if he fights Fury, I reckon he's gonna get knocked out. That's because 1 minute, bro. 1 minute. It's my friend Spencer Fury. You know what I mean? Yo, Spencer. Let me call you back, because I'm doing a live show, innit? I'll send you a link. Or you want to jump in, or I'll just call you? Okay, cool. All right, Spencer Fury. I'm going to call Spencer Fury real quick.
All
right, so we're going to get some credit. I don't know if you're able to hear. I think you'll be able to hear him, Carney, and fight fans, but I don't think I'll relate questions if you got one, though, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, let me call Spencer, man. Because Spencer, the knowledge Fury, and works at Sky Sports. We're going to get his take on the thing. Yo, Spencer, man, how you doing, my friend? You're live on EJ Boxing Show with Anthony Carney. Spencer, you've just heard the big news. What's your take, my brother?
We knew the fight was going to happen from like last week. So they were just debating about the money. I think it's Al Heyman trying to cash out on Charles Martin, who's he's not a bad fighter, but I mean, celebrating fights, I'm sure Andy Joshua says harder guys coming through in an Olympic gold medal 4 years ago than what he's going to face with Charles Martin.
So you knew the news last week. I was talking to some insiders. They were giving me the tape that everyone knew inside. So let me ask you this question, because we were debating back. Do you think it's the right time of fight to fight for him after coming off of Dillian Whyte? After fighting a Dillian Whyte, you think this is a right opponent for him?
You got to think about this, right? And this is no disrespect to Charles Martin. He's not a bad fighter. I mean, he's a southpaw. We got to go through the history of boxing. And when we look at the history of boxing, we only had 2 southpaw guys who held a version of the world title. One in Michael Moore and the other one in Corey Sanders when he knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. So it's not a rush kind of thing, because if we had gave in December, if we gave Joshua mine, if that fight was made then instead of the Dillian Whyte fight, the British public wouldn't have complained about it. We would have said it's too early for Joshua to be fighting this guy. I think it's the right time, and I think it's the right time for him. You got to think of the IBF titles right now. Guys, you can hear in the background right now. I'm round 9 of Larry Holmes versus J-Bo Costa Smith, and that was for the IBF title. I think that was like his 2nd or 3rd IBF defense. So we got to look at it like it's alright. It's not a bad fight.
All right, so a lot of people keep talking about Frank Bruno's Jumbo Cummins moment and this thing. Do you think it's like Bone Crusher Smith? Nah, okay, all right. So what? So you think this is like Bone Crusher Smith, Frank Bruno, where he can get found out? I mean, look, man, how he's fighting against a southpaw? He hasn't fought no southpaws in the pro, in the amateurs maybe. How's he dealing with someone who's a southpaw? Now Joshua has the reach advantage by 2 inches.
Nah, if I'm Andy Joshua, and I spoke to one of his boys as well. I'm gonna speak to Andy Pryor. You know these guys always phone when they want to try to bust people's knowledge in that. You know what I mean? The fight that Andy Joshua should be studying, even though it's different ways, but he should be studying Bernard Hopkins, how Bernard Hopkins easily dismantled Antonio Otava, who's a southpaw, right? He's a southpaw who could bang as well. I mean, that's the fight that he should be watching. We know that was at 2006. He should be watching how the adjustment of the feet that what Hopkins would do, where Hopkins knows the guys and think like, right, the key shot is to keep your front foot, your front left foot, your orthodox fighter on the outside of the southpaw's lead right leg. Bernard Hopkins would have his left leg on the inside of the southpaw's right leg to get the leverage for his right hand shot and the left hooks. So styles make fights. Key shots were knocking out southpaws. Audley Harrison versus Michael Scott, the first fight. You know what I mean? Audley Harrison threw those shots and Michael Scott came up with left hook, boom, caught Audley bang on the button and knocked him out. I'll be looking for everyone says about trying the right hand because the right hand's a shot to be hitting southpaws with. I agree, but I think it's a right and left hook. The power that Joshua has got, he's got nuts power. I don't think Martin is dealing with anyone that hits like Andy Joshua. Even though Andy Joshua is susceptible to getting hit with shots himself, but I don't think that he will be as strong or as tough as a Dillian Whyte, who has shown great resilience in taking the heavy bludgeoning shots from Andy Joshua, and they zap you as well. If they don't knock you out, they will zap you. I think it's the right time for it. It's a cash out kind of fight there. Andy Joshua will earn fantastically well, and so will Martin. He's the champion. He'll earn really well, and it's a fight worthy because the world title, worthy of pay-per-view.
Okay, I got a question. It seems Anthony Carney. Anthony Carney, you have a question for Spencer the Knowledge Fearing?
Yeah. I see me and him. I think we count on the same line, but do you think? Because I've been saying this earlier. Do you actually think that there's something going on in that camp to where you think that Anthony Joshua is ready to take that title and fight nothing but big fights?
Okay, what he says is that you think there's something going on in the camp where he's taking his fight to make the big fight and the money. Like they believe in their camp. They believe in Joshua's camp that he's taking this fight. They really believe that he can take this fight. What's in the camp? What are they saying inside the camp?
Well, I don't think there's anything to do like what's in the camp. But at the end of the day, it's like the fight is there. Joshua re-signed with Eddie Hearn, which was a surprise to many people. Those people for that, Joshua was going to piss off and go to Al Heyman, right? Mm-hmm. So when he signed So the way to get him is not dangling the carrot, it's making that carrot become reality. You know what I mean? Or turning that vegetable carrot into a gold metal carrot by telling them straight, well, we'll put you on pay-per-view and you'll get X amount per pay-per-view. So you got to fight pay-per-view fights. You know what I mean? Fortunately now, because of guys like you, EJ, and the rest of the guys who speak about boxing, not just on the big TV platforms, but on the social network platforms, which don't get twisted, don't think that Eddie Hearn or guys at Sky TV or guys don't read the comments what you guys are making. You guys are very, very powerful. I know because I'm working in TV, so I'm telling you now that you guys are very powerful. So people will listen to the general consensus that is around there, and like you guys are getting very, very knowledgeable now. So as you're getting knowledgeable, they're going to weigh it up and say, well, boy, this shit, wow, that's not going to be up. You know what I mean? They're going to weigh out shit now. So as they're weighing up their stuff, what they're doing now. Josh's people know like this is a fight that we have to take because it makes great financial sense. If Joshua was to come out victorious, which I believe that he will, it's just more to prepare him to try to say, well, we need a big box off between him and the other fella in Tyson Fury. Because here we had before two British guys who were heavyweight champion of the world at the same time. When we had Lennox Lewis when he held the WBC title, and you had Herbie Hyde who held the WBO title. By the time, the WBO wasn't really recognized as a solidified body then, right?
Yeah.
But now, the IDF title has been around since 1983. First champion was 84 in Larry Holmes. It's a solidified, proper, legitimate, bona fide world title. Even though it's a version of a championship, but it's a bona fide version of a championship. Now, if you've got two Brits facing off the WBO and the WBO champion and seen as the lineal champion in Tyson Fury versus the IBF champion in Anthony Joshua, you can't imagine what you write your own checks. So that's where things are going to be looking at. It's big. It's great for the game, right?
Yeah, I absolutely, 100% agree. Real quick, hey, do you think this is a 50-50 fight? And who's going to be on? Who do you reckon is going to be on undercard?
I think Christian McJunior will be on the undercard.
That's what I'm talking about. I guess.
I think.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know who's again, but I reckon that he'll be on the undercard. And you never know. I mean, like, you never know, like, because I think like Chris Eubank Jr. is the one contending now for the WBA crown. So you can have Chris Eubank Jr. versus Danny Jacobs. You never know.
Whoa! Hey, Spencer's dropping some diamonds here. I know you know something, bro. You working there. You never know. You hear that? So hey, you're giving us something to talk about here.
Well, it's an easy fight to make because I ain't no fighter, right? So
yeah,
I ain't no fighter, and you get a share of that pay-per-view money, man.
All right,
share that pay-per-view money.
All right, Anthony Carney had a question where he asked me earlier on. I know you know because you met Mayweather earlier on last week. Mayweather and Eddie Hearn.
Last week, get it straight. I hosted Mayweather. I was in the beginning of the show at the London Norton Park Lane. And that was last week Thursday, and I hosted him on Friday, his last show, which was at the Premier Suite, which is owned by Scott Murray in Cannock. So I did his first show and his last show. It was an honor that they phoned me. I didn't contact these guys. They phoned me and said, Spence, could you come and host it? You know what I mean? So I hosted that show and I was the last show. So
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. You know, you didn't ask me, but it's all good. We're past that. Next ask. So the collaboration between Eddie Hearn and Floyd Mayweather. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm hearing these stuff, but you don't remember this. Like Eddie Hearn is an opportunist at the highest level, and when you're an opportunist, but you got TV money behind you as well, and great experience from your dad, then things can happen for you. And you feel, oh, it's a no-brainer. Well, we could do fights together. Now, even though they're tweeting it, but whether it will manifest to do something, then I don't know, because I remember. When Floyd Mayweather, was down as a welterweight, saying like, well, the future of boxing is going to be Golden Boy and Mayweather boxing. That didn't happen, did it? Right. So when you're looking at this as a collaboration, I don't know if this is going to be a real big collaboration, to tell you honestly, because Floyd's his own man. And that's one thing that I realized. I've been around him quite a few times, but Floyd Mayweather is his old man.
Okay.
He's an old man, right? Eddie Hearn is an old man, and he's a big entity, but he's not as a bigger entity as Floyd Mayweather. Now that collaboration is like maybe it's like they're using that for Al Heyman to get inside boxing because like Floyd Mayweather the boxer is incredible. Floyd Mayweather the businessman is incredible, but he always pays homage to Al Heyman. And then the elevate more so Al Heyman. So maybe it's like, well, this is how Al's gonna get his foot in the door because Eddie Hearn's got Sky TV, pay-per-view money, and they're going to be collaborations via them. We don't know. But me personally, it's a good thing as long as I can see guys in the game who are fighting that can earn a bit.
Well, listen to this. I was thinking because Ashley Fairthing's fighting Asia and Broner. It's a shame they couldn't have that on the card. We could maybe see Mayweather coming down to watch the Prince Charles Martin versus the Joshua fight. Maybe a Mayweather fighter is going to be on the undercard of the.
I don't know. I think people get a bit taken away. I don't really think that it's going to happen to the extremity of what people are thinking. I think a lot of people they're building up things for they're going to be greatly disappointed because I know how Mayweather runs his stuff. He runs his stuff to how he wants to run his stuff. It'd be cool if they can bring over certain fighters and vice versa for the rest of it. But you have to remember that Eddie Hearn has got an amazing roster of fighters right now. He's got too many to handle, and this always happens with all the promoters. When you've got too many fighters, it's too difficult to handle. Now, if you find it difficult to handle, a lot of British fighters are complaining that they ain't getting no work. We're assigned to them. This is facts. I mean, I'm not speaking out of time. I speak my mind. This is the difference. People think because you're in a certain situation, you can't speak your mind. I'd rather die than not speak my mind. I swear down.
Okay, man.
Because that's the only thing that makes me different from you is my mind.
Yeah, man. Well, this is why I talk to you. Me. This is why me and you talk. We talk that truth.
If you got British fighters who are complaining saying they ain't getting no work, right? Because there ain't enough shows. So you do this collaboration right now. How are they going to get more work?
Yeah, well, maybe against someone in top against. Okay, well that's true. You're right.
No. The only way this collaboration is going to work, you can see it now. You're going to get Karen Smith versus Badu Jack for the WBC World Super Middleweight Championship.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing I can see that happening. But then, would you want to see, there's a lot of these British fighters who will not have it in them to say, okay, then we're going to fight these American fighters. Because some of them are gassed. When they hear something to do in America, they get gassed by it. So, when you look at that, I'm saying, I'm looking at this collaboration, I'm saying, is this a real collaboration that's going to do something? We'll see. Only time we'll try it. But I do wish them the best, and I hope that the best do fight the best. We see what's happening. But I ain't like these guys going to get gassed because they're doing such and such and such or blah, 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 blah. Proofs in the pudding. You going to tell me, this, that doesn't work. Words don't mean shit.
Absolutely, man. All right, Spencer, man. Thanks for your time. That's Spencer Furin, Spencer Knowledge Firm. Check out his Toto podcast every Tuesday? I think it's every Tuesday.
Every Wednesday. And we've got hashtag Toto, which is on Sky On Demand. I mean, I'm big up all you guys. Thanks for calling me, man. I mean, I'm going back to watching my boxing.
All right, man, Spencer. Take care of myself. Take care, my brother. Peace. All right, so that was Spencer Fury, Spencer Knowledge Fury. Make sure you check out Toto Podcast every Wednesday. Hey, we've got a guy from Pound Boxing. We got Daniel. Daniel, what you saying, bro? Unmute yourself.
What's going on, brothers?
Hey, but cool.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Yeah,
what's going on, man? Yeah, big news in the UK.
Yeah. You just heard from Spencer Knowledge. He over here gave his take. What's your take? First reaction on hearing Prince Charles Martin versus Anthony Joshua?
My first reaction is Heyman's war chest is running dry. Running very, very dry because this is the third fight that a Heyman guy has had to go outside of the PVC bubble to get money. Now, we're going to Dominic Wade's case is because he became a mandatory to Triple G, but you just saw what Amir Khan has to do. He's going to get a good payday to face Canelo on HBO pay-per-view. And now Charles Martin has to go to Britain to get the good money to likely get his ass whooped by Anthony Joshua. Normally, like I said, I would have thought that Heyman would try to protect Martin a whole lot, give him a couple of gimme fights because he didn't technically have a mandatory challenger for another year. But going after like this, and probably making sure that Eddie Hearn's the one paying everything, it pretty much just says that, yeah, his well is pretty running dry, and Charles Martin's being probably a lamb being led to slaughter right now to be sacrificed for Anthony Joshua.
You guys
I can't necessarily say that his war chest is running dry, so to speak, because if it was a fighter that was associated with Al Heyman that was actually worth keeping over here, then it'd be done. You see what I'm saying? So let's take it. Let's put it out there like let's say Wilder.
Yep.
Let's say Wilder. All right. He has the Povetkin fight coming up. Now, that's coming down the pipe. Now let's just say this fight goes to a purse bid. If Al Heyman deems it necessary to keep the fight over here, then he's going to put up as much money as possible to do it. But the fight, I think the fighter has to be worth it. We all know that Dominique Wade is not worth it.
Yep.
You know, now if it's one of his prized possessions like a Sean Porter or a Keith Thurman or someone like that, and he was involved in a top fight, then I know that for a fact that he would pay top dollar to keep that fight on the PBC where he's guaranteed to get a return off of.
But would that case fall involve the fact that he only has $82 million left in what was supposed to be a $500 million war chest?
That's true too.
That's the thing. He doesn't have much of a war chest to begin with now because, okay, do the Povetkin fight. Povetkin's people can throw $20 to $30 million in a purse bid. That's a pretty decent chunk out of that $82 million that Heyman would have to top. So I don't think that's going to affect. Like one of your guys, PSP Sports EJ, said that he thinks that Heyman is going to purposely bid low on the fight. That way, Povetkin's people overbid, and then they wind up paying for the fight instead. Which I think Wilder's okay with. Wilder has stated on many occasions that if he has to go to Russia to face Povetkin, he will.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that angle, but what's pretty telling, the fact is he didn't even try to maneuver Wilder and Martin to face together.
No,
because that would have been an easy fight to make, where Al Heyman controls the entire purse.
You're right. You're right. It would have been an easy fight to make, but at the same time, what I'm looking at right now, even though he still has, I don't care what nobody said. Look, Wilder needs to face Povetkin next.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like they can't keep circumventing that fight. That fight has to happen this year, preferably in the next 6 to 8 months.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be in April and May. And to Wilder's credit, he wants the fight.
Right.
And maybe his people that don't want the fight, but he himself wants the fight.
Yeah, I mean, and it has to happen. I mean, you just can't keep avoiding the mandatory for that long. So, I mean, to me, it just has to happen. Heyman just has to prioritize his fighters. Who's worth keeping over here? Who's worth letting them go and tell them earn it?
That's a very, very hard case to make when Heyman's entire repertoire, his entire sell is, I can get you a whole crap load of money to fight tomato cans.
Hey, but let me put this. Heyman's just the advisor. I've seen his manager. He's got a proper manager. And let's give Prince Charles Martin credit. In his first title defense, instead of taking a layup, instead of taking an easy dude, they've chosen to get one of the top contenders in the world. I think, and it's because he's paying the most. He will sell a lot of money to fight. Him coming to England, he's gonna earn a lot of money. He's like we already talked about. I'm looking. This fight is gonna probably generate like 25 million. But Prince Charles maybe get about 12. Anthony Joshua probably get the lion's share of the money, right? So he's getting a big favor. But what a guy in his first title defense. Look who he's going against. He ain't taking no stiff, man. You gotta give the guy credit. I mean, war chest. It just makes sense to me, man.
It makes sense. EJ, he's making Eddie Hearn pay for it. That's the whole point. He's gonna give Martin a nice decent payday, and it doesn't come out of Waddell and Reed's wallet. It comes out of Eddie Hearn's wallet.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, that's good business in that's good business. If I could get Charles Martin a $12 million fight purse, and I ain't got to do it, why not take that?
But don't you think he's been offered by others? Joseph Parker, I'm sure other people were challenging him, were offering him money as well, and they came up with the highest bidder. Like, this ain't all about Heyman. I think this is all about Prince Charles Martin trying to fight the very best. He's got a world title, and he's going against one of the top contenders who's not really. Well, he could have fought. Erkan is above Andy Joshua. He's going against one of the top contenders in the world. I think it comes down to more or less the fight, not necessarily Al Heyman. I wouldn't put this on Al Heyman. Not at all, man. He's only going to get paid the advertising. They've got a manager. I think it's a case of Martin wouldn't try to fight the best, because if Martin wins the fight, which I actually at this point I'm going with I'm going out on a limb. Even though I'm from the UK, I'm thinking Martin might win this fight because he's walking southpaw. It's going to be good. How's that going to look? How are you going to say if Martin wins this fight against Joshua? Are you still going to say he ain't no good and all that, and Joshua's overrated? Are you guys still going to downplay him?
No, I'm not going to downplay it.
No, I'm not going to downplay it, but it's gonna look really, really bad on British shores because, let's face it, Anthony Joshua, I think, considered by many to be the heir to Lennox Lewis and Vladimir Klitschko. And if that actually happened, that times when Charles Martin beats Anthony Joshua, it may just be seen as another hype job for the division. We had something similar like that happen here in the U.S. with Seth Mitchell, where he looked here's this big heavyweight. He's a former football player, and he wound up getting his clock clean by
Chris
Arreola.
Amateur. I wouldn't say that's the same. He never had no amateur Premier. Joshua's got a Olympic gold medalist.
No, but it's the marketing. It's the marketing, EJ. That was Seth Mitchell was being marketed as. He was marketed as this big, solid former football player. He's going to be the next champion. And like I said, he just wound up getting his clock clean twice.
I think the comparison would probably be more or less with Michael Brunt. That would be more thing. I think that's more comparison than Seth Mitchell. When Michael Grant was undefeated, they thought he was going to be the heir apparent until he met Lennox Lewis. After he beat Galotto, I think that's more comparable. But having this fight, you think this fight, but if you look at this fight, this is a more even fight. What has Martin done? What has Joshua done to this point? The fight is a 50-50. Them other fights, they wasn't 50-50. Like Seth Mitchell, everyone knew that he was going to get exposed eventually. But this fight is supposed to be a 50-50 fight. I just feel like at this point, with all the sparring partners that they're accessible in America, that Martin can get, Al Heyman can pay his money. They put money down to get the best sparring partners in there for him. In the UK, I don't know what sparring partners Joshua's going to be ready for. I don't know. Is this too early? It doesn't matter. The fight's happening. But is it going to be a stinker? Is it going to be a war? What's your guys' take on how the fight is actually going to be?
Your first, Antoine.
A dirty fight between two southpaws. I mean, to me, when two southpaws get in the ring and they're not necessarily slick fighters, it has a propensity to get real dirty on the inside. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Even though Anthony Joshua is a better technical boxer, it's just like you said earlier, we don't know what it is when he takes on another southpaw. We don't know. Because he hasn't had much experience against all his experience in the pros has been against what? Orthodox fighters, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be nice to see what he does against somebody that's coming in just like him, and he actually has to reverse his thought process.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Two southpaws is an interesting fight. It's something that's very, very rare.
They're not two. I mean, just not southpaw.
No, but it can be fighting with two people that can actually fight southpaw. But the fact about it is, if you give Martin the chance, it's because you saw some flaws in Joshua in the Dillian Whyte fight, which there was. Like in the second round, Dillian Whyte went after the body, and you saw in between rounds, Joshua was breathing pretty heavily, which pretty much can tell you that if somebody targets the body really, really well against Joshua, you may be able to take him down. Keyword may. But like Antoine said, he's a better technical fighter than Martin right now. And on top of that, he's probably a lot more accurate puncher than Martin is. And for all intents and purposes, I think a lot of people can say that Martin doesn't really deserve the belt he has. Because the only reason he got it is because Glazkov suffered a pretty devastating knee injury in that fight. It should have been called a no contest. And then Martin would have fought the next guy, which probably would have been Carlos Takam or Joshua. This fight could have just happened anyway. But instead of it just being a title defense, we might have just been for the vacant belt, which probably be more fair.
But you're saying that about, I think, you know what, like, when Glazkov walked into the ring, first off, Kathy Duval was the one who made Tyson Fury strip the belt. That's the first off for me, right?
And again, and with that said, screw Kathy Duval.
One minute, Connie. And when Glazkov came into the ring, there was nothing wrong with his leg. When he started getting hit by the man, by Martin, he started realizing this is hard, and his body broke down. That's why I feel there ain't nothing to do. That fight should never been a no contest. I think the right outcome was the right outcome. If you look at the same similar fight a year ago, or probably 2 years ago, with Jermaine Taylor versus Sam Solomon, in the same situation, Sam Solomon was he was the champion at the time, so it's kind of different, right? But he came into that fight, and Jermaine Taylor beat him down, and his knee collapsed, his meniscus clapped in. So you couldn't really take that away from Prince Charles Martin. I think you American guys are hard though, in my opinion. But go ahead, Connie, go ahead.
Oh no! I mean, you know what? That is actually a good parallel right there. Sam Solomon against Jermaine Taylor. I mean, but at the same time, first of all, like I said, I gotta say screw Kathy Duval for that because she didn't have to break up that crown like that. That's number one.
Yeah. All of a sudden they're blaming Martin. Like people forgot it was Kathy Duval who did that. It wasn't Martin.
Yeah. No, nobody should forget that. Yeah, that's absolutely nobody should forget that Kathy Duval did what she did in order to get Glazkov that shot.
Right. So, because he could have stood to wait another 6 months to a year. He could have stood to wait another 6 months to a year, especially what happened with that fight against Martin anyway. You know. And also, not to get too far off the subject, that eliminates Kathy Duval from not being able to deal with Al Heyman as far as making any other fights like Stevenson Kovalev. But still, back to the subject at hand.
Nah, but she did deal with him. She did deal with Kathy Duval.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that Charles Martin and Glazkov fight proved that they could work together.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. They can work together. They can. Good, you're right.
So Kathy Duval was running out of excuses by the day.
Oh, about for the Stevenson and Kovalev.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
she's running out of excuses now.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. What's your take, Daniel, on that one? What's your take on that one?
That's what the interesting thing is, because, like, I think, Carney, you heard me when you were on the Pound for Boxing Report. There's blame all around for this. Like, people just want to blame Stevenson because it's without Heyman, but Duval has let her fear of having Kovalev fight on somewhere not on HBO cloud her thinking. Because remember, this was supposed to be a purse bid to make Stevenson Kovalev, but Kathy Duval's the one that pulled out when she thought that HBO wouldn't back her up in the purse bid.
Right. Okay. So what we're saying is this kind of woman, she be out there causing the most amount of trouble. Then is what we're saying.
Oh yeah. Oh no, she's quite the trouble causer. You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact. Because here's my take on the whole situation. If I believe that my fighter, if I believe in that Kovalev can beat Stevenson, I would have been like, okay, Heyman, go ahead, because he would have made sure the fighters got the most money anyway. Because Kathy Duval couldn't see him as far as a purse bid goes. We know this. So both fighters was going to end up doing at least $6 to $7 million. If you go 50-50, both fighters probably would have ended up making $6 to $7 million apiece for the fight. That's number one. But if I believe in Kovalev, then I'd be like, go and get that money and go bring my titles back to me.
True.
Yep. That's the whole case, but it's just she has this fear that for some reason she does thinks that HBO will be upset that this fight would take place
That's
outside of HBO. But the fact of the matter is, if you believe in your fighter, and now, especially now, when you know that the PBC is technically in pretty bad financial trouble, when you know that they have pretty much trouble, why not force it? Why not go ahead and be like, okay, we're going to bid it, and then we're going to take it to HBO pay-per-view, which you want anyway.
We don't know the PBC's in bad trouble. Only one person has reported. That's Steve Kim. No one else has reported that. Hasn't come from.
No. EJ. This is the reason why it's been reported. Those are the numbers that Waddell and Reed are saying themselves because they're required to announce their numbers and how their investments are doing. Since they're a mutual fund that operates across state lines in the U.S., they're mandated to report it to the Securities and Exchange Commission of the government. They have to make those numbers public. That's why people know that this $500 million investment is now down to $82 million.
But that's not only the PBC. That's to all their companies, though. That's not
no. They listed it specifically to the mutual fund and specifically to the investment of the PBC, which is actually listed under Heyman Sports. They listed it as under this initial investment when we started was $528 million. As of January, it's now down to $82 million. That burn rate that Heyman was going through, because, in all honesty, he should have just stuck to NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS for the PBC, just network TV. Not anything like not NBCSN, not ESPN, not Fox Sports 1, because he spread out too thin. And if you're trying to create the same quality for each network, that burns through a lot of money, because the way he produces the PBC is like a music concert.
Well, I'll take your word on that one, boy. We'll see what happens. They've been predicting PVC down.
I have to agree with him on that, but at the same token, now because I'm looking at like Spike TV, the Friday night one, and the toe-to-toe Tuesday ones. Those fighters cannot be getting big purses on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights. I think the bigger purses is reserved for the prime time, right? It's reserved for prime ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Technically, it's supposed to be that way. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way. The big fights are supposed to be on the networks coming in, but Heyman just decided to sign 200 people to his network, and now he has to pay them all. He has to provide fights for all of them. That's the only reason why he spreads himself so thin and putting fights on. Like, technically, the only network that actually pays licensing fees for the PBC is Spike. It's probably the reason why Spike overall has probably done the best out of the PBC platforms as far as production, as far as presentation.
Because I prefer Spike myself. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yep.
Well, man, you guys bring some good take. What's Spencer saying? Okay, so on the card, he's thinking Jacobs against Eubank Jr. What's your guys' take on the card of Martin and Joshua? That's what I'm trying to say. This is what they can bring on the undercard. How do you guys take on that? I like that. I like that.
Well, he's technically is mandatory, so yeah, might as well do it.
Yeah, might as well make it happen. Might as well make that happen. And the thing about it is, though, I would have to Billy Joe Saunders. I like his skill set. I don't like his mindset though. Daniel Jacobs, he got a lot of dog in him. And I think that if he takes Billy Joe Saunders out there to deep waters, I think he can drown him. Even though I have reason to believe that Saunders might be the better pure boxer out of the two.
He's not the better puncher out of the two, though. That's the thing.
Right, exactly. That's what I meant by deep waters.
Oh. But what's the interesting aspect of it when it comes to making that type of fight is you can then make the argument also, okay, you want to make Eubanks versus Jacobs. Then the WBA get on your ass and make Jacobs Triple G. Because if you suddenly found religion when it comes to belts, you have to then make the fight. You have to eliminate it because Triple G is the super champion and General Jacobs is your regular champion. If you're really
Right.
serious about
Hey, Jacobs, you're moving around and stuff like that, so your thing is not very clear. I think you might have to stand still or something. We can't really hear you. Say it again.
No, I said if the WBA is actually finding religion when it comes to their belts, then you have to logically make a choice. Then you can also tell the WBA, make Jacobs Triple G, because then you get rid of the regular belt because you're having the super champion in Triple G face Jacobs in the regular champion, and that would be a decent fight too. Because Jacob, tell me if I'm not right, Antoine. I don't think Triple G has seen somebody with the hand speed that Jacobs has.
Not yet. Not yet. I agree with that. And not only that, but I think that won't happen because I think the WBA is being a little bit too greedy right now as far as the sanctioning fees go. For some reason they're trying to collect as many sanctioning fees as possible. That's the only logical way to describe the reason why they got a potential 2 to 3 champions per division in the WBA by itself. You know what I mean? Because, so why the logical? That's just like what's going on in the welterweight division. Keith Thurman is the man, but Berto is technically his mandatory. Why hasn't that fight been made yet? That should be an easy fight.
True.
It is, but then now Berto is technically now stuck in this WBC tournament, and because Colin is now facing Canelo, Berto might be lined up against Danny Garcia.
True story. That's true.
Yeah.
And I thought that the WBC mandated Khan versus Garcia anyway. They supposed to have mandated that fight. So that left the WBC tournament. I mean, all out there.
It's true, man. It's true. I don't know what's going on with connection, Daniel, man. I don't know what it is. Like your connection's gone funny. And your picture, I don't know what's happening with your picture.
I know I was moving to my office. That's why.
Yeah, like your connection, but you'll see with your connection now, it just sounds fuzzy now. Like everything was all legit. Like your picture's gone, your voice sounds like a grizzly bear.
How about now?
Let me see. Go talk now. Let me hear.
How about now? Because, like I said, I just moved to my office.
Oh, you're in your office, yeah. Your voice sounds grizzly though, but we can hear you though. Go ahead. We can hear you. At least we can see you anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the whole point when it comes to the WBA. Like, it's true. Like I always made the joke they have 5 belts for each weight class. But like I said, if they're really serious about finding religion, now I understand why. They said it because Gilberto Mendoza has been open on Twitter saying the only reason I'm not making Jacobs Triple G is because Triple G is Canelo's mandatory. I want to get word on the WBC.
Yeah, someone just put that in the chat. Rich B pointed out Eubank is fighting Blackwell for the British belt. When we see when they're fighting that. You're right. I don't think Eubank is going to be on the card. So yeah, that's a good point. Someone said, "Hey, Jacob." Someone said you need to refresh. You need to refresh your thingy, man, because the connection's still a bit fuzzy though. But it sounds like a robot, man. Yeah, you need to come back again, Jacob. It sounds too fizzy, bro.
Yeah.
Let me see Eubanks. Someone made a good point. Eubank Jr. Let me see that. Someone made a good point because he's fighting against Blackwell. I need to see when he's fighting Blackwell. So I doubt he'll be on the undercard. He hasn't been. The day hasn't been set. Richie B. The day hasn't been set against Blackwell.
Oh yeah, they need to back that out and make the Jacobs fight there.
It's gonna be in Wembley Arena, but the day hasn't been set, so that could happen. He could fight. He could fight. But he already gave up the belt. Maybe Spencer's reaching for that one because Eubank will be training for one guy. He wants to get the British belt, so maybe that fight is a bit too far fetched. I'd like it though. I'd like it because Eubank's on undercard of Joshua. They're a winning team, so we have to see.
Well, now that you think about it, okay, Billy Joe Saunders just beat him, right? Or did he just beat Andy Lee?
Yeah, Billy Joe.
He beat Lee. Okay, all right. Because it's been a minute since we seen Billy Joe. I mean, since we seen Eubank Jr. out there on international stage anyway.
Yeah. Billy Joe, man, Billy Joe's always like this. Like Billy Joe's fight. He fights inactively anyway. You know, he's just not really. You know, he's not really. He doesn't really fight the active anyway. That's the thing. Knock on him. But yeah. I want Eddie Hearn's going to try and stack the card though. I know this for a fact that the card is going to try and stack that card. Put some real good names in the card. I mean, it doesn't really. Do you really need? Let me ask you a question. Let's be brutally honest. Is it a main event? I know it's for the heavyweight championship world. Is it a main event? Big star card? Because we were saying the same thing about Joshua and White and Dillian Whyte. Yeah, they had some real big needle. People wanted to see it for ages. Is this a real big main event fight? I mean, Joshua is in the UK over here. Is it a big main event fight for you?
To me, it is.
I got like Khan and Canelo is my.
In all fairness, I mean, at this point in time, when we see Cotto and Canelo, all we see is big names with no real significance. You know, it's no real substance to it to me. But when we talk about Joshua versus Martin, that has major implications in the heavyweight division. So that's the fight I would prefer to see. It's the fight that should be a main event. When you compare it to the two people that got bigger names like Khan and Canelo, unfortunately, it's going to fail in comparison. So,
go ahead, Jacobs. Daniel. Daniel, go ahead, Daniel.
That's the whole thing. Martin versus Joshua, because of what's on the line. Because actually, I think I put it in the chat with the EJ. I just wrote an article on it. Of the situation that might be at hand for it, because let's put it to A. Joshua beats Martin for the title, so now we have two Brits with heavyweight titles. So you could have a big unification fight between him and Tyson Fury in Wembley Stadium. But Fury has to get past Klitschko in the rematch, which I don't think it's going to be as easy of a breeze as a lot of people think, because Klitschko literally did nothing in that fight. He just has to do more than nothing to win that fight. And then on top of that, those guys, the winner of that fight is technically mandated by the WBA to face Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
So
that's right. I know that. That's why Tyson Fury say he's thinking about retirement.
You don't want that work from Ortiz.
No. Retirement. That's why they talk about retirement.
Yeah, and well, the WBA actually told them the only exception to either Klitschko or Fury facing Ortiz is Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay Wilder is true to his word, if he beats Povetkin, he's going to go after either Joshua or Martin next, and then go after the winner of Klitschko Fury.
Yeah. So that would be the best scenario. That would be the perfect scenario.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I guess so, man. We've got so many big things in boxing, and the thing is, I think this announcement today on this day, on Valentine's Day, by Andy Joshua was good for boxing, because I tell you, man, I was struggling for subjects to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a little breathway of something to talk about, because right now we're in this lull period where there's no fights, nothing going on, and I think we need some news like this to just jolt us, like, oh man, this is something good. This is something good in boxing, man. The implications are big, like Carney said, and Jacobs, you broke it down beautifully about what's gonna happen next, about Fury, where he's going and stuff like that. But apparently, Daniel, people were saying Fury might not fight Klitschko in the rematch. Apparently, they're trying to say he might just sit back and fight the winner out of Martin and Joshua. What's your take there?
Then he's going to go to court.
That's what I said.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically, it wasn't Fury's call for the rematch clause. It was Klitschko's. Klitschko's the one exercising the rematch clause. And if Fury just decides, no, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to try to fight Joshua next, Klitschko's going to take him to court in Germany.
Yeah. See, yes. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, and Fury's not going to win the court case in Germany.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But then again, it undermines at the same time, just like what I said earlier. It undermines breaking up the crown. It undermines breaking up that unified championship. Even though Kathy Duva is to blame for it, if he didn't have any real reason to go after Klitschko, then he just should have fought Glazkov straight out the gate.
Yeah. Should have fought Glazkov. Remember, Fury was saying there's something wrong with his feet. Say he took the flesh, teared off his feet or something. I don't know. But then you see him in the UK jogging. You see him jogging out there. You know, to call it. You know, he's getting in trouble. Fury getting in trouble with women and stuff like that. So there ain't nothing wrong with his feet. He seems like he's all right. He could have fought Glazkov. And you saw what Martin did to him. Fury would have messed up Glazkov. You know, he would have messed up Glazkov, man. But
I'm quite sure Klitschko could have waited another 6 to 8 months for the rematch. He was gonna get his rematch regardless. Not unless he wanted it right back. Not unless he wanted it right back to back.
But listen, Klitschko. The longer the rematch takes, is the older he becomes, right?
Right.
Yep.
So,
And that's the reason why he did it immediately. Because in all honesty, it reminded me of the last time. Like, remember when last time Klitschko lost, when there was a lot of bullshit behind him, like surrounding this personal life. He lost pretty well, and then bounced right back up.
we talking about Corey Sanders?
Yeah.
He didn't rematch. He sent his brother in there to do the dumb. He didn't rematch him, did he?
No, but now, well, his brother's now retired. He's now the mayor of Kiev, Ukraine, a country that right now is in the middle of a bloody geopolitical mess with Russia. So, but now he can just say, you know what, I'm going to take care of business. Everything's behind me. My wife's out of this therapy now, postpartum therapy. She's good now. I'm going to go whip that ass because, in all intents and purposes, I'm still the overall better fighter than Tyson Fury. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because technically he's a lot better fighter. That's what I said. He literally did nothing in that fight.
Yeah,
he has to do more than nothing just to win.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing, and he's got a higher knockout percentage than Fury. If he just tried to fight with Fury, you already know Fury got knocked over by Steve Cunningham. If Klitschko could have caught him in Fury, he would have been in trouble. But masterful boxing by Fury, stay out of range and just stick and move. Beautiful boxing, and Klitschko. And remember the stuff with the ring apron, the ring mat, putting double mats in it to make Fury's legs slower, stuff like that. You know, it's messed up, bro. That's the sort of little game they put in the world scene. So you know what I'm saying. So it's interesting. The boxing right now is bubbling, man. My mouth's dried up, man. I don't know what to say right now. Get me? I'm about to go get something to eat. What you got? You guys anything else you want to say?
I think that's it, man. I think that's it.
You going on Beach?
Yeah.
Beach has got his hangout later on, and you jumping on that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump in on that later on. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. So he gonna be spitting on that.
Yeah, he definitely. Hey, Dan, you got a show later on as well? Or is it happening?
Yeah. We're gonna have it on a Sunday. I just got talking with John Francis. They're gonna do it at 7. We're gonna do it at 7:00. And if you want, like I say, I'm gonna try to jump in. Just get in through Skype so we can come into it. We're probably gonna have a short show because it is a very, very dry area when it comes to boxing. Something that
Who are you talking to?
I'm very perplexed by.
John
Francis, my co-host, John Francis.
Okay. I tell the people who's listening where they can find your show or where your channel is.
All right, like I said, on Twitter you can find me at Raucus99, and I said my podcast with John Francis from 4 Boxing News is on SoundCloud. We tend to do it every Sunday or Saturday. Well, we did it Saturday last week because we're not dumb enough to take on the Super Bowl. But this Sunday we're going to do most likely a short show, half hour to an hour, because, like I said, there were no really big fights this week. But we just had big news come up. So we're definitely going to talk about that.
Okay, cool, man. Hey, man, that's good, man. Well, there you go. It's Daniel and Anthony Carney my co-host, a panel over here, who also joined us as well. Wood from the Boxing Voice and Joker Boxing 44 was over here as well. And yeah, man, it was a good show, you guys. Hey, so anyways, you guys want to say that's it? Well, that's all I'm gonna say, man. We're gonna play us out with some Booker T, Booker T, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
All right.
Later.
Am I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. But who am I? Sure enough. Who am I? Sure enough. I can't hear you. Sure enough. Can you dig it, nigga? Sucker, sucker.